I think it's that I look at my whole life and I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
It's time to start the show. The gang is ready. Let's go. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam. Jim and Sam.
It's happening, you guys. It's happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wish you all were here.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
I want to wait until the verse kicks in.
Yeah, we should start that song a little earlier.
Why?
No, just a little bit, a second earlier in the song.
Oh. I like when he comes in. I like when he comes in and goes,
He's good.
yeah, he's great. Well, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yes, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm trying to find something in one of the articles as we're listening to this stellar new opening.
The Ascension Millennium.
I don't know if the Ascension Millennium, I don't know if it works, though. It's not crazy enough.
I like Let's Go Crazy, Let's Go Nuts. I don't know why we're changing
We're
that.
just mixing it up, just so it doesn't get stale.
I like, that's what he's, there he comes.
Yeah, maybe just start with that
He's
part.
got that, like, real
it's
grit
gritty.
in his voice.
Yeah. He's a gritty kid.
He is a gritty kid. Corey Feldman's hardcore. And a lot of people don't give him credit for that.
They don't. He's a great dancer. He's a lot like Michael Jackson in a lot of ways.
I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that. He
looks like him. His hair like him. He moves like him.
He does. He sings like him.
Yeah.
He is the artist that Michael Jackson was.
Someone is saying switch back to Prince. Give it time, Nick. We'll work on it.
I like the idea, though, of adding... I mean, I really like that Prince song. But I like the idea of adding Sarah Jessica Parker in there.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's good. See, I think that's where we should just keep adding. Like, we should leave the Prince, but just keep adding sound bites as we find them. Like, every couple weeks, or whatever, every month even, whenever it is, whenever we find a really one that really works for the show, we throw it in until, like, by the end of the year, we've just got a ridiculous string, and we never take anything out. We just have a ridiculous
string of sound clips.
Yeah, of stupid sound clips.
I don't mind Prince, but I don't mind trying some other things too. Like we may go back to Prince, we may just wind up leaving it there. This Ascension Millennium is an awful song, but it doesn't work for this. It's not crazy
because we go crazy and we go nuts. That's the whole point. Because
yeah, the doors open. Is that closed or open? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I just have the one.
Oh.
But it's silent, so it's either open or closed. I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah.
But welcome. We were just talking about this John Jones thing.
It's fucking terrible. If it's true, it's terrible. If it's true.
Do you think it could be just a false positive altogether?
I don't know.
Because even if it's an accidental positive, it's still terrible. Because how do you come back? You can buy a first accidental positive, but how do you come back with another same scenario? Is he still using the same boner pills?
I know it's a different. This is called Turinabol, I guess. I don't know. Or Turinabol. I'm not as sure what it does. It's Turin, Turinabol. I have no idea about what it does.
So yesterday afternoon, this report came out that USADA, which is the drug thing that UFC and
they popped a lot of guys.
Yeah,
a lot of guys.
It's an independent organization because that's how you have to do it in athletics to make sure it's on the up and up. They said that John Jones had tested positive in the test that correlates with the fight itself.
It's an in contest.
In contest is the
in contest, and it was taken at his weigh-in. So this is the sample that was taken at his weigh-in.
Right.
So the part that makes it hard to believe is he couldn't be that stupid. Like he knows they're going to test him. Unless I heard they tested him like 7 times in 2017. That was what I heard. So if they tested him 7 times, why would he take something thinking they're not going to test him? It's crazy.
Unless he's one of these guys that is just insane, like one of these pathological people who lies and makes things up. He could be that person because pathological liars tend to lie to themselves too. They do stupid things and they can't justify it to themselves. So it's not like when you meet and I'm not, who knows? We could be totally wrong or whatever. But when you meet a pathological liar, we've all encountered them. You knew a kid in school who would lie all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're sitting there knowing the truth most of the time and they're just trying to get one over on you. Most of the time, they're lost in their own lies.
But to do something like this, like the lies are one thing.
Yeah.
But to do something like this where they're testing you for it.
Like it's science.
It's crazy for him to have thought, if he did it, that he would get away with it. Or it's such a big risk to take.
Yeah.
You think he'd almost be worth taking the risk of losing more than taking the risk of getting popped. It's insane.
Yeah.
If he did it, it's insane. I'm not willing to throw him under the bus at this point. I just don't want to believe it. And I'm like, I can't believe it. He'd be that stupid.
Especially, he's on this press tour where he's obviously trying to change his image. He's showing up for interviews in like khakis with his shirt tucked in. He's apologetic. He's talking about how he made mistakes. He's admitting to things. And you talk to him and you think, okay, this is a guy who's grown up. This is a guy who's made a lot of mistakes and grew up. And people, coincidentally, we just put this podcast out yesterday as well. It was yesterday morning, obviously, before the news broke. But our podcast this week, which is on iTunes and SoundCloud, is the John Jones interview. So if you for your drive home or whatever, if you want to listen to it, it's on the podcast. But it's also on YouTube, so you can watch it today at some point. I was just having a conversation with a guy over the weekend who was like, oh, I love the show. It's going so well. I'm on the YouTube channel all the time. I'm like, that's great. And that's the interview that he brought up, the John Jones interview. And he was saying that, like, he shared it with all of his friends. And it seemed like, this is the interview that he did where he actually came off like himself. And you started to be like, okay, I can relate to this guy. Because a lot of people, after the hit and run and the coke and then the getting busted after taking dick pills, people had lost faith in him.
Right.
And he came back, and you heard him here. He did one with us. He did an interview with Ellis. He did Rogan's show, I think. And, like, after those interviews, people were like, okay, you know what? He is the best fighter. And he comes across as this guy who's, like, getting his shit together. And he's made mistakes as a kid. And he had, these excuses of, being sheltered growing up and not being exposed to any of this and then becoming this rock star. But
he just couldn't, he can't think he's not going to get caught. Like, you can't think I'm going to get away with this when there's no one being watched more in sports for that stuff right now than John Jones. Because he's coming back, you can't be that deluded as to think you're going to get away with it. He understands the testing cycle. He understands they're gonna randomly test him. He knows that the weigh-ins is going to happen.
So there's a couple options then. Either it's the exact same scenario where somebody gave him something and his people didn't check it or whatever, and he got popped for that.
One of those guys thinks it's a setup. No, I'm not going to say it's a setup. That's a little paranoid. I don't know. That's just one of his guys. Maybe that's just the initial reaction of one of his trainers.
Because his trainers are like, there's no fucking way this was a priority.
I think they submit things for testing too. I think they submit stuff all the time to USADA to be tested, make sure that it's okay and that it's approved.
Like something could have been tainted, like somebody got into their shit and.
I don't know. I know Cormier. Someone's going to tell us what this. I'm going to ask this guy. Knows what this steroid does too. I don't know what it does. Bobby, what is it?
Makes you big and strong.
I hope it has better. It's a little more than that. Yes, Bobby.
Oh.
How's it going, fellas?
Good.
Sammy, I love what you do. I know that I'm breaking a wall here, but and Jimbo, I'm coming up to Madison to see you in Wisconsin as well with my girl. So,
oh, good. Thanks. Yes.
So I've taken it myself. I'm a power lifter. I've taken it a couple times, and really, it very much seems as though John Jones, this isn't something that gets tainted with something. You're specifically taking it, and a lot of times they take it along with testosterone because you get very strong, you recover very quickly, and it doesn't do. There's D-ball and there's T-ball, and D-ball will make you gain 25 or 30 pounds because you retain a ton of water.
Didn't D-balls used to work here?
But let me ask you a question. Once you take it, how long until it's out of your system, or how do you get it out of your system? My thinking is, how could he have taken this thinking that they weren't going to pop him in a test for it?
Well, what it is, typically you take it for 4 to 6 weeks. Somebody's probably going to call and tell you that I'm an asshole, I'm wrong, but it's typically taken 4 to 6 weeks, and then it'll hang out in your system for, depending upon, a lot of these will hang out in your system for up to, can be there for up to a month. There's certain oral versions. See, it's either taken orally or it's taken with, it's taken intramuscularly with a needle. If it's taken orally, it can be out of your system very quickly. That's why they test for things like milk thistle, and you've heard them use the word Clomid, and there's a couple other drugs, and those are estrogen blockers, because when your testosterone levels are unnaturally heightened, they take estrogen blockers so that it keeps the. I think that's basically you don't get bitch tits.
That's what they got. I think that's what they got Brock Lesnar on, estrogen blockers.
Yeah, so they get a lot of guys on estrogen blockers.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Is they're trying to tamp down estrogen levels while keeping testosterone levels.
But you're saying with this steroid that it's not something that gets tainted. This is something generally that people do on purpose, and maybe if you take it orally, you think it's going to get flushed out of your system pretty quickly.
Right. That's exactly. So it's definitely a drug that you are looking to take. It's not an accidental.
But is there, and I don't know their answer to this, is there any way it is in anything else? Is there anything that could appear to be this or could be this that's in another supplement?
Poppy seed bagels.
Anything?
No. I mean, with my knowledge of it, and I've taken it, and USADA actually tests in the powerlifting federation that a lot of my teammates compete in. I don't compete in tested federations, so I take things and it's the same playing field. But USADA also tests these powerlifters in the same fashion, and they're looking for the same things, because if you are trying to squat 800 pounds, if you're able to train more often because it helps you recover quickly, then it's a drug that makes your muscles very hard, and it's not really about gaining size. It's strength and it's recovery.
Okay.
And that's why I think with John Jones, it's a recovery drug. With these fighters, obviously, we know they get hurt very easily. They're kicking the shit out of themselves for, an 8, 10, 12-week camp.
Right.
And these compounds. Now, I actually know a couple of guys that fought in the UFC, and I won't say his name, but this person is a guy that he had probably a 6-fight contract in the UFC, and he said, without question, 95% of UFC fighters are taking. It's just their timing when they believe they're going to be tested. I do agree. I think it's stupid that John Jones, knowing that he was under such scrutiny, why would he do that?
Unless the only answer I could come up with, just again to guess, is if what you're saying is it's about recovery.
Yeah.
If he suffered something that was actually endangering him for not being able to fight, and it was a desperation move, like if I don't take this, I'm not going to be able to fight. Like that's the only reason I could think you would take something knowing the scrutiny he was under, is like either that or you have to pull him from the fight.
Yeah, logically, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
Thanks, guys.
He wanted to avoid the shit that would come down on him if he couldn't make the fight because of an injury,
or the money,
to recover, or the money, the whole deal. Or, the only other thing is if he's one of these just delusional people that doesn't live in reality. But you get a team. You could be that guy, but it's like you got a team around you. You're right.
Yeah, and somebody pointed out to me as I was on the phone last night. Somebody pointed out, like, USADA has not been, I don't think, testing them for that long. It's a couple of years, and maybe someone said, well, a lot of his wins came before USADA was testing, where they weren't as strict.
Oh, so maybe he had
a good system before. Again, I don't even want to say that because I like John. It's like you hate to speculate about a guy you really like cheating.
I like John too. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite people to watch. I don't watch that many fights, but I would always watch a John Jones fight because he's exciting to watch. And I've always loved him. I've interviewed him in various different scenarios, and I like him as a person, But like you get to a point where, if this is another mistake, how could this many
mistakes happen to one person?
One guy.
And if it's true, and if he did do it, he shouldn't be allowed to fight again. I mean, if he took because he literally, the way he kicked Cormier, he could have killed him. Like, it's like, and that's part of what they sign up for. But if you're taking something that is making you stronger and you're cheating, and then you kick a guy in the head, it's like,
especially if it's after what he just went through.
Yeah.
Like if you have no sort of thought to yourself, like
I could forgive a dick pill. We all understand a good dick pill.
I think that's honestly why the interview with him was so good with us, because he kind of got, Jim's on my side with the dick pills.
Of course, I would on anybody's side with the dick pills. If he said it was dick pills again, I'm on his side. If John came back and said these are just more dick pills, I'm still Team John Jones.
I hadn't eaten all the dick pills from the last thing, and so I took some more. I didn't realize the same thing would happen.
Yeah, I don't know what this. And Daniel Cormier, who I also like a lot. Have you interviewed Cormier?
I think so.
He's such a nice guy. Like I felt terrible for him being so. He was on his honeymoon. And
in Hawaii, right?
I believe he just got married, yeah. And he said, it's hard to find words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I'm disappointed to hear the news. It's very emotional. We as athletes are entitled to due process, and I'll refrain from saying much more until I know exactly what happened.
Did you start crying again?
I hope he was weeping a little. I like when an athlete weeps. It always gets me. It does get me, yeah.
Because of the passion.
No, because it's genuine.
Yes, okay.
It's genuine, and these are guys that they're not doing it for. When a guy cries in the ring like that, even though he was knocked out, that's a genuine thing. So it doesn't feel manipulative or bravado. It just feels like a guy who's just a guy who could throw me through a fucking cement wall, just having a real moment of humanity.
He's vulnerable.
Yeah,
there's vulnerability.
It's
there.
humanity and vulnerability, and I guess that's the part that gets me. In my mind, on July 29th, I competed and I lost. I thought John Jones was the better man that day. I don't know what to think anymore. I can't believe we are going through this again. We will see what happens next. By the way, that's the difference. And I like Ronda Rousey too, but that's the difference between guys like him and Dominic Cruz and all these people. When you lose, you got to talk. Yeah. You can't just not talk for a year.
Just run away.
You got to just say, hey, even when Conor got fucking tapped by Nate Diaz, he talked.
Well, that's the best fighters realize that losing is part of the game. Hopefully you don't lose often.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you lose.
You do lose.
And that's part of the thing. You go and you fight again, you're like, yep, he was a better man tonight. Moving on to the next thing.
I'll tell you what I want to do is hug Dana White. He's got to be out of this
he's got to be so... I bet when he heard this news... because his head gets red when he gets mad. Yeah. You've seen him his whole head turns red. I'll bet he looked like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes yesterday.
Well, he didn't say, I was with him in Vegas when John's, Matt and I got out to do the podcast live. And he took us out to dinner, and that was the moment John's B test came back positive.
You were there?
Yeah. I was at dinner with him. And he was fuming. I remember we were.
Did he say any bad words?
He did. Yeah. Yep.
Were they just kind of bad, or were they expletives?
His fucking test came. This was after the second sample.
Yes.
The first one we already knew, and then the second one came back, and he was not happy.
Well, just imagine as a promoter
at all.
As a promoter. Number one, every UFC fight counts because they're still, as successful as it is, it's still such a young brand that UFC is constantly proving itself as a legitimate sport and a future, mega sport.
As the thing that people want to take over boxing, it's kind of competing with that. Like people say, is this going to be better than boxing? And UFC is kind of trying to live up to that,
right? And and stars are important, and he has this star. In John Jones. He's this young star. This is a guy who can fight for me for 15 years, right? Theoretically, and can just win and be somebody who can be on a Gatorade commercial.
And sell pay-per-views.
And sell pay-per-views and sell tickets and sell shirts and sell toys and video games, whatever he needs. And you just can't get your shit together.
Especially after losing Ronda. You lose Ronda Rousey, who's the biggest name in the sport for a while. John is out. And then Conor comes along, and he's the biggest name, and now he's this megastar, and who knows if he fights in UFC again. If you fight and you make $80 million boxing, it's hard to convince you to go back to fight for $3 or $4 million, where you're going to get more hurt.
Dana's going to have to just give him part of the company like he wants.
I think so, too.
He's just going to have to. And honestly, at this point, Conor McGregor is the only mainstream star left at the moment. Mainstream, outside of the sort of, I know that you have a lot of favorites and there's a lot of stars in your eyes, but in terms of mainstream, that my dad would know who he is.
Yeah, he is. I didn't like him for a long time, but it's kind of hard not to enjoy him right now.
Conor,
how can you not enjoy Conor right now? How can you not?
I mean, Dana's got to be looking at him I'll put up with whatever shit. I'll put up.
He could take a shit in the ring, and they would somehow.
No problem.
No, it wouldn't matter as long as he came back to UFC.
Yeah,
they don't care what he does.
Yeah.
I'm bummed I'm going to be gone. Like, I'm glad I'm going because I'm going to see somebody I want to see and do something I want to do. But I'm kind of
couple things.
Yeah. Repeatedly. But I am kind of bummed I'm going to miss this because not only is I was going to have people over, but Anthony said he's having that big party, and Bob Kelly is having people over. Like,
I didn't know that.
I just found out because he happened to be talking while I was there.
Wow.
Steak tips.
Yeah, no, I mean, I bet it. I'm sure he didn't invite me because I live a tough 8 minutes away.
He'll invite you. He mentioned you.
Well, he didn't invite me. I haven't heard
He's
from him.
He's probably waiting to see you tomorrow.
No, I lied anyway. I just said that. He didn't mention you. But he probably will. But I would love to have gone to Anthony's. I haven't been to Anthony's in a while. You guys you should go to Anthony's if you can, or Bobby's.
We were actually just talking. We're figuring it out now. I don't know what we're doing yet.
By the way, that was how fucking funny was Anthony yesterday? God damn it.
He was great.
He's always funny, but he came in and he did Chip last night too. And he's on fire all day.
He's the only guy
that brute.
He can tell the same stories over and over again, and it's just still funny every time.
What was he telling us? And this is the example I use when I talk about Anthony all the time. He was talking to us about some technical thing, about how the engines on the ship run, and he's just a guy.
Oh yeah.
He's just an interesting fucking human being. Like, he can tell you a story about something that I could never tell a story about how engines run. A, I don't know how they run.
Yeah.
B, I'm not an interesting enough storyteller.
Right.
I'm just not good enough at doing radio the way he does it like that, to tell a story and keep people on the edge. He could tell a story about how that dumb ship runs, and I literally just got my fucking face in my hands and I want to hear it. You know what I mean? He's just got the ability to do that. He's fucking great, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
God damn it, is he good.
It's going to be fun watching the John Jones. I'm not the John Jones. The
Anthony and Artie show.
The Mayweather-McGregor fight is going to be. It's just going to be a spectacle. It's going to be an event. It's
it will be
a shared experience. Everybody's going to be talking about it.
I'll buy it. I'm going to buy it.
It's going to be a bunch of like people in a room that never watch fights that all have like this like expert opinion. Well, you know, they're like the one thing they heard. Like I'll be there going, Floyd's he's kind of a counter fighter. Like shut up, you never watch boxing.
And Bobby, Bobby was even buying into it. Bobby goes, dude, I'm telling you, Floyd's not training as hard. He goes, he's been seen at Burger King, McDonald's. He's only training 3 days a week.
Oh.
And I'm like, Bobby, do you not understand? That's exactly why he's doing that.
Yeah,
because he wants people to think that McGregor, like, okay, this might get people to invest in getting the fight who think that he's going to massacre McGregor.
The whole thing's a show.
The 8-ounce gloves, Floyd's been fighting with them his whole, but they make a big deal about it. Like, yeah, of course, they're smart. They want you to buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to. It worked.
Yeah. I mean, that's
all the hype worked.
Oh, who do you think's going to win? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? What difference does it make? It's just a show.
Yeah, there's so many things I'd rather watch, but I'm going to watch this.
I can't think of anything I'd rather watch on that given day.
What time is it in Iceland right now? Because I'm going to be a bunch of hours ahead. It's like a 10 p.m. fucking thing.
Yeah, what's the time difference in Iceland? Yeah, because the pay-per-view starts at 9. The fight will probably start around 11.
12:23 p.m.
Oh, it's only a 4-hour difference there. Okay, it's a little bit different.
So it'll be around 3 o'clock in the morning when the fight comes on, most likely?
Yeah, by the time it'll be 11:30 p.m., 3:30. And I'll just watch it in the hotel on my laptop. Not exactly the... Or if I can find a pay-per-view thing around there, who knows?
I'm sure there'll be, like, pubs or something.
Nah, bars close at a certain time.
Oh, that's right. It's 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So you might not be able to.
Probably not. You'll be in your hotel watching on a laptop.
Yeah.
Way to experience it. Way to be a part of the popular conscience.
Yeah, it's not exactly the way I would want to, but what I do right before and right after is what I would want to do.
That's going to be fun?
Yeah, it will be much better than steak tips at Bob's.
Different kind of tips.
Well, you know. Let's hope.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
I am too. It's an event, and that's the only thing. If I wasn't doing this, I'd absolutely be home. But I'm like, you know, what am I going to do? It's a fight. I can't. There's a million fights.
They're saying that the Vegas books are they're talking about all the gambling that's going on for this fight and how it could be a disaster because despite the overwhelming consensus from experts that the 29-year-old Conor McGregor has little chance to beat the undefeated boxing legend this weekend, bettors are overwhelmingly in McGregor's corner, accounting for 89% of all action.
That's because you can't win money on Floyd unless you bet $200,000.
So they're saying like if Conor McGregor wins this fight somehow, it could destroy them.
Yeah, they said
like
the MGM would be the biggest loss they ever took.
Yes, it will collapse them.
I really
They
hope
won't go
he
out of
wins.
business, but it will be a terrible, terrible loss. They said, I've never seen anything like this. I can't believe it's this lopsided. One of the sports book supervisors at the MGM Resort said there are over 6,000 more tickets for McGregor than there are for Mayweather.
Because it's a long shot.
Yeah.
People are taking the long shot. But your son's on the phone.
My son is calling in?
Edgar Roberts wants to talk to Uncle Jim and his dad about John Jones.
I mean, he's so young. Okay, I had no idea. Wow.
This is a first.
What a moment. What a day.
Yes, little Edgar.
Hi, Uncle Jim. Hi, Dad. This is your half-gay son.
Well, I didn't know you were half.
Talk to you.
I didn't know you were half gay as well.
Exactly. That's a lot of things to realize in 6 months.
You're really developing quickly, young man.
Takes a lot of people a lot more years than that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm being generous when I say half. What you guys take on John Jones getting busted for steroids?
We were just talking about it. We just talked about it for 20 minutes. Again, we'll see what happens. I hope it's not true, but it's hard to imagine that it's tainted. But I'm hoping against the odds that it's not true.
It's disappointing. You're like you're hoping for John Jones. You're like that kid in the Coke commercial that wants the jersey thrown to him.
No,
for John Jones. You're like,
I just feel like, God damn it! You hate to see such a great, talented guy fucking throw his whole career.
Away.
Yeah, yes,
because
sir.
that's what happens, right? I mean, if he's
done.
If he tests positive, and it's because now, so he tested positive. Now there's a whole legal thing that happens where they confirm.
Yeah, and then you're stripped. The UFC did not strip him, by the way. TMZ was wrong. He has not been stripped. But what did you want to say about little Edgar?
I don't know. I'm still shitting in the crib, so.
All right,
okay,
cool,
thanks.
man.
Good call. By the way, can ESPN, if they wonder why they're losing revenue, they yanked this guy.
Oh, this is the greatest story ever.
From a Virginia football game because his name is Robert Lee. He's one of the announcers, an Asian guy.
Where they moved him.
They moved him somewhere else, but they yanked him from that game. His name is Robert Lee. And what was their cowardly fucking statement? We collectively made the decision with Robert to switch games as the tragic events in Charlottesville were unfolding, simply because of the coincidence of his name. In that moment, it felt right to all parties. It's a shame that even in this topic of conversation, and we regret that who calls the play-by-play for a football game that has become an issue. How about they regret the fact that they are typically such absolute cowards when it comes to anything with political correctness.
So Robert Lee,
this is unjustified to pull this guy from this fight. From this game.
It
has nothing to do with the unfortunate events in Charlottesville.
He's an Asian man. His last name's Lee, like Lee.
It's not connected.
Like Bruce Lee.
He has the same name.
You don't think it's become an issue?
No, it has not become an issue. These pussies. It has not become an issue. If ESPN wonders why people aren't watching it,
they made it an issue.
They made it an issue. That's why you're fucking letting go of all your on-air talent, because nobody respects you because you never stand by your people.
So it's supposed to be the Virginia versus William and Mary college football game, and I believe it's played in Charlottesville or around Charlottesville. And they just decided that, if this Asian dude named Robert Lee was doing commentary on this college football game, that all anybody would be talking about were the protests that happened in Charlottesville 2 weeks ago.
Well, they couldn't handle the jokes that might come on Twitter. Too bad.
Well, yeah, now they avoided it. No one's going to talk about it.
No, yeah, now at least Twitter's not making any jokes at their expense.
It's really They're embarrassing, man. They are fucking embarrassing.
People get it wrong. When stuff happens, people they are just so desperate. And it's not just ESPN, it's a lot of bodies. They're so desperate to do what's right politically, to do the politically correct thing and not offend anybody.
It's so insincere.
It's completely insincere. It's like they've lost the point entirely. When we start... So now, all they've done is they've created this thing where people are like, what? We don't have freedom of speech? A guy named Robert Lee now can't call a football game? Now this and that and this and that? All they're doing is taking away from anybody that was protesting. Concentrating on statues now. Every story's about a goddamn statue. Concentrating on statues and getting Asian guys with the last name Lee off of football games is like completely trivializing any conversation that's bigger that you would want to have about Charlottesville. Like, we have about 48 hours these days to talk about a national event in any sort of real terms. Like, if you really want to talk about, well, Antifa over here, blah, 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 it's like, yeah, that's a real conversation. Within 48 hours, you get into the nonsense. Like ESPN pulling broadcasters, like, hey, let's take down all the statues everywhere. Like, nobody, what?
ESPN has been such complete cowards when it comes to this stuff, too. They react, they panic. They apologize. They fire people. They have done nothing but bend over and take it in the ass with political correctness at every fucking turn. They do that.
There's not even any outrage.
There's no outrage. It's just the guy's name. Whenever a company says something like unfortunate because of these unfortunate or we made these tragic, shut the fuck up. It has nothing to do with it.
Here's what would have happened. They would have done the game. He would have been like, I'm Robert Lee, and this is some Virginia college football. And then some guy would have been like, Robert Lee, like Robert E. Lee. And you know what he would have gotten? An eye roll.
Like,
you would have gone on Twitter and you would have emoji eye rolled him like, okay, dude, we got it. Robert E. Lee, he's got the same name. Nobody would have cared at all.
ESPN really stinks, dude. They really fucking stink. And if they wonder why they're taking a beating and why people are just walking away from them in droves, this is why. Because your target audience are not a bunch of PC babies. You're trying to target sports, people who like sports. People who like sports are not going, oh no, Robert E. Lee, Robert Lee's got the same name. I can't watch. People who watch sports are not that fucking sensitive. They're not that big of babies.
You don't think that they would turn off their TV?
No.
This reminds me of slavery. I can't watch.
And how many times are the names mentioned, like, to begin with?
Never. A couple.
And first down, I'm Robert Lee.
Right. Nobody knows.
Second down, I'm Robert Lee.
Especially, it's like college football. Nobody knows if it's not Joe Buck and fucking what's his name, Troy Aikman. Nobody knows who's calling these games
or cares.
Nobody
gives a fuck. But they do every time we collectively made. No, you didn't collectively make the decision.
You don't think he brought it up?
No, I think they probably said, "Look, we're thinking about moving you." And all right,
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah,
but
you
just
guys
the fact
right.
that they're thinking about it. This is also a great point. Someone, Denny in Virginia. Yes, Denny. This is even worse.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Good.
How's it going? There's a play-by-play announcer for the Baltimore Ravens, and his name is Jerry Sandusky.
That's right.
It's fine. Like, people
are they supposed to fire him?
People have figured out by now.
Thank you.
That people have the same names. Like, it's a name. That's the guy's name. Like, as a bit of a funny thing. Exactly. Like, it's for a scenario. Like, oh, our announcer's name is Jerry Sandusky. Ha, ha, ha. The game starts. Let's just watch the game.
And this is also a good point about ESPN. Yes, Rich and Philly.
Hey, these are the same fuckers that gave that award for courage to Caitlyn Jenner a couple years ago instead of the girl that spent the last years of her life with brain cancer starting a
college basketball player, right?
Yeah, because it was the correct thing to do. I mean, what the fuck?
You think they would have given Caitlyn Jenner the award for courage if they found out that 2 years later she was going to support Donald Trump?
Yeah, probably not.
Fuck.
Thank you, Rich.
Damn it. But she was supposed to be America's sweetheart.
They're just a cave-in. I heard that was a whole thing behind the scenes anyway, that Diane Sawyer got that interview with Bruce, and the whole thing was like some weird...
He transitioned so that way he could get the interview?
No, not quite that extreme, but that's why she got the interview on ABC. There was something done by
because it's an ABC-owned,
Disney-owned
ESPN,
thing, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, hey, if you do this, we'll do this. But the fact that they give David to Caitlyn Jenner over... And Caitlyn Jenner did do something kind of courageous. I know people hate her, but there's something to stepping out when you're 67 years old. But that's not braver than having brain cancer.
No.
It's just not. It's just not.
I'd rather have a vagina than brain cancer.
I wish you had both. So yeah, that's just ESPN just continues to embarrass themselves, and it's not like they're doing well firing all this on-air talent. People are telling ESPN, "Fucking stop! You're losing your audience. People don't like you."
Well,
fuck them, man.
Sports. When you're watching sports, the reason that people watch sports. We were talking about this on Tom Shalhoub's show yesterday because we were talking about the Kaepernick stuff. And the reason that people watch sports is to escape all this nonsense. Like, it's pure. That's what sports. If you're a sports spectator, it's for escapism. It's because you don't want to hear about Donald Trump and racism and protest and immigration and this and that. You just don't want to hear any of it anymore. And you just want to watch your football, your baseball, whatever it is. And that, like, To me, if I was running the NFL with the Kaepernick stuff, I'd just be like, you know what? Enough with all this stuff. We're going to play the national anthem, then we're going to bring the players out on the field. That's what we're going to do.
Then again, the national anthem isn't needed either. Like, if you're going to play that, you're making a statement by playing that. I'm not saying it's a wrong statement, but I don't mind what Kaepernick did. I don't care what he did at all.
I don't mind it either, but just because the company is a football company and doesn't want to be involved in politics, now they've got to pick one way or the other. Keep playing the national anthem, that's fine. Bring the players out after the anthem and stop, and just that way we don't even have to talk about it anymore.
Or they could just say, stand if you want, don't stand if you don't want. Kneel, whatever you want to do. Like, who cares?
Or don't shoot them then.
Don't film them. Right, don't show the players.
That's why I would say leave them in the locker room, because it's like, let the players do whatever they want to do, but don't make it about that, because then now people watch the NFL, and again, people are being a little bit dramatic. Just watch your football. But there are people that watch this thing going like, I don't want to see a protest. I just want to watch football.
Or how about, what do you care about a protest? Like, if you're watching football just to watch football, why do you give a fuck what anybody does during the national anthem? Don't watch it. Or just go, oh yeah, that guy's sitting.
Just tune in at kickoff.
Who cares? Yeah, like, why do you give a fuck? I don't care if people are doing cartwheels during the national anthem. It's got nothing to do with me. The fuck do I care what you do during that song?
They just ride in a clown car.
National pride. I don't need to stand and just, oh, okay. It's a ritual. It's nice. But it doesn't mean anything. That doesn't get soldiers better health care.
No, it
gives
doesn't.
a fuck.
No,
do what you want to do during the national anthem.
You sound like Dick Gregory right now.
But I'm tired of people making big issues out of nothing. Who gives a shit?
It really is.
If he wants to kneel and protest what he sees as police brutality, then
as long as Robert Lee is not calling it, then that's fine.
Absolutely.
Then that's fine.
And the same people who are probably mad at him are a lot of the same people who are saying that they should leave these statues up. And a lot of the same people who are saying take the statues down are the same ones who support Colin Kaepernick. You know, it's just everybody just shut the fuck up and let everybody just do what they want. Who cares?
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Like, my initial opinion on the statues was, if it's generals from the opposing side of the Civil War, take them down, because they were treasonous. They were against America, and the statues are for America. But the fact that the statue conversation has become the conversation is revolting. It's insane.
It's about who do we honor. All right.
And now you've got Robert Lee going like, well, I was gonna call this football game, but okay, I'll call that one. I'll call that one over there now. That way there's no... And ESPN has to... Why would ESPN even make this announcement?
Because they're politically correct.
They want to credit for it.
To a fault. They're virtue signaling. On this unfortunate... Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they thought that this was going to be this, like... They were like, look, we're heroes at ESPN. We sent Robert Lee, the Asian guy, to a different town.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're broadcasting a sport where people get CTE and beat their wives. Shut your faces. Shut up.
Shut up.
Fucking assholes.
You're training people to just concuss each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's college football. These are young...
Unpaid athletes.
Yeah, exactly. Kids just destroying each other's bodies with no hope for the future for free on the house.
Shut up, ESPN.
It's good for this commentator, though. It's good press for him.
Yeah, it is, but it's like, this is douchey. It's a douchey story.
I don't even think it's good press for him, because there's this, like, underlying thing where you're like, we remove Robert Lee from this game because, you know, we wanted to be sensitive to it. And, like, you're like, well, I know that Asian guy, Robert Lee, is not racist, but is he kind of, because we had to remove him? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be the guy who's like, okay, he is such a controversial figure just because of his name. Because of his racist name, that we had to move him over to a different town. You know? I'd be like, what? Huh? Nobody's ever, I bet in his entire life, Asian Robert Lee's entire life, nobody has ever compared him to Robert E. Lee.
It's never happened.
You wouldn't even think of it.
It might have come up once or twice in meetings. Once this stuff.
Tell me this. Do you think in Asian Robert Lee's life, he has been compared more to Robert E. Lee or Bruce Lee?
I'm going to guess Bruce Lee or Bobby Lee. I doubt it's Robert E. Lee.
Nobody would say that.
Lee is a very, very common Asian name.
Yeah.
It's not a crazy name. It's like being a Washington, a white guy named Washington or a black guy named Washington. It's common. It's like, you know, Roberts, or it's like Jones. They're very common names. It's not a crazy name.
Nguyen in Vietnam.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan in Chicago has good news about the fight, by the way. Yes, Brendan.
Hey, good morning, Jim. Good morning, Jim. Love getting locked up in the asylum with you.
My name is actually Sam.
Yes,
a lot of people
Jam.
make that
I apologize
mistake, but
for
it's
that.
Sam Roberts is my name. Yeah.
Sam. Thank you, Sam. Hey, Jim, I was on Facebook yesterday, and I saw that there is a bar in Reykjavik that is going to be showing the fight starting at 3 a.m. if you're interested in watching it with other people.
Yeah, I would do that. I would go to it.
Yeah, it's at a Big Lebowski themed bar, actually called Lebowski Bar.
Okay.
So if that's your thing, there you go.
Thank you. I'll say I'm not sure exactly.
You gonna watch the fight in the middle of the night with a bunch of guys dressed up like the dude?
Yeah, I would actually.
Are you mad about your eggs?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's good time. And by the way, we don't have the Anthony interview on video because the card was full yesterday.
Well,
we have the whole thing on. We don't have the whole thing though. No. Okay, well that's we're supposed to have the whole thing.
90 minutes only. The other part, we're positioning it as audio exclusive. Trying to really get people excited about it.
Yeah.
This is an audio exclusive. Travis, when you put out the podcast, as whenever the video cuts off, will you put a drop that goes audio exclusive?
I will.
That's smart, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be smarter to just have the whole thing.
It would be. Yeah.
No. You got to spin this into a positive.
It's not
Audio,
positive. We can't lie to the audience.
So?
No, the guy who requested to look after the studio forgot to check if the card was full.
You don't think saying audio exclusive would trick people into being like, oh, this is like even better?
No, I mean, it's not a big deal when Anthony's on. I mean, he was off for 3 years and he's been on. I mean, it's old news by this point. It's the third time. I mean, why would we care if we have video of it?
We don't need it. We got the audio exclusive.
Yeah, and his stories about like his marriage and stuff. Nobody wants to.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you have that on video? Oh my God, I forgot about the marriage stories.
Those were so lame.
He
right?
was so fucking funny yesterday.
I zoned out. It wasn't even.
Well, here's the thing about it. You're going to get to paint the pictures, my friend, because it's an audio exclusive.
It's just shitty, and it's like we should have it. It's just annoying that we don't have it.
We should do reenactment.
We're actually, I can't, because you're right, and I've decided I can't trust the staff anymore for videoing the show. I'm going to get a courtroom sketch artist to be in here every morning, and they're just going to draw pictures of what goes on. That way, just in case, they're like, oh, the video ran out. I'm like, did we sketch that? Yep, got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Whoever
3 fucking video cameras in here. And it's Anthony of all people. Like, I get it if it's like, hey, it was Bobby or it's Mark who comes in all the time, but Anthony, who kind of is a big deal when he comes in, it's kind of a big thing for the show when he comes in, and the fans love to see it, and I love that they can see it.
Do you think our Anthony sabotaged it because he's like, I'm Anthony?
No, but I just think that it's fucking completely careless.
Yeah, it is.
It's inexcusably careless. Like, it's such a dumb thing. It's not like the camera malfunction. That kind of shit happened. You know, something breaks. Just silly.
I'm getting that dude that sketched Taylor Swift in here.
He wasn't good at all.
No?
No.
Oh. You think he'd give the same excuse about Anthony Cumia? Anthony Cumia is just too pretty. I couldn't sketch him right. He's too symmetrical.
Yeah, it really annoyed me.
You should. I don't blame it for annoying you.
It's oh. I'm supposed.
was that
just a dumb, exasperated look? Like, what are you doing?
Was that the excuse? What was the justification that you got for the cameras not?
I don't even know. There was none.
Was it this? Oh
no! I and I know mistakes happen, but it's like when Anthony comes on, we have to fight to get him through security every time.
See, it would have been better if we had to fight for him longer this time, because then we could have kept the camera off, and then it wouldn't have run out. See, we could have kept it on the front side.
Yeah, I mean, I like the YouTube channel. I love that we put the whole interviews up. I think they look good. Some get a lot of hits, some don't. But I just love that people can go there and watch them. I mean, it's a good channel. They do a good job with the videos. But that's like specifically what you're supposed to avoid is having the card full. So you guys will get half the Anthony interview, and a lot of people watch those videos. They do like to go on and watch it when he's in studio, and I love when they can.
I'm super. The YouTube channel's doing very well,
extremely well. And when he comes on, it's still a big deal. A year from now,
definitely is a big deal.
Anthony won't be a big deal when he comes on. If Anthony's coming in for a year, okay, one of them gets fucked up. It's fine because he's been coming on for a year, but he was out for 3 years. And it's only his 3rd appearance, and he was fucking hilarious yesterday, as he was really the last funny. 2 times. So,
really funny.
Yeah.
But that's why we'll drop the audio exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, look, the audio is funny. It's obviously funny. It's not like you can't enjoy it on the audio. It's an audio medium, but
video is funnier.
It's just better to have it in 2017. What kind of assholes don't have video?
Right.
And we should have a guy coming in once in a while, and like Paul used to do. I used to love when Paul would come in and film stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he wasn't so busy.
Well, he's got a job here.
I know he does. He got a fucking raise and a promotion. That's so great.
The company shined on him.
They certainly did.
That's not that cool. That's not that cool.
Oh my God, does that annoy me?
What if we put like a photo of Anthony and like a moving mouth?
Yeah, can we get the Jib Jab guys to come in and give us like an Anthony like?
We could do a 1 hour Jib Jab video.
Yeah, I want to take the rest of the audio and just Jib Jab it with a picture of Anthony, and then when he's talking, it just Jib Jabs. Like Terrence and Phillip.
Let's see. Someone has a conspiracy.
I've hearted
about the fight. Yes.
Which
Mayweather Pacquiao.
Okay. You mean Mayweather?
I'm sorry,
McGregor.
McGregor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Morning, Jimmy.
What's up, buddy?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I read an article. This morning. I don't know if it was one of them fake newses that you hear about, but this guy that worked as a promoter for them said that the whole thing is fixed, and these guys ride around on the plane together, and they're duping everybody. And then a day or two later, he was found shot execution style in his car.
God, stop it.
Just knock it off.
What are you talking about? It's exhausting.
Let's try to look it up. I don't know.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
All right, yeah. Yeah, Dana White shot him, I heard. Thanks. That's true. Dana White, promoter found dead. Let's see. Is that true? Even if he was found dead, I don't believe it was...
Okay, right now, the only article it's popping up on is Snopes.
Well, Snopes is usually pretty good. Is that true or no?
Well, let's scroll down. A fake news article. It says right at the top, actually, in the headline.
Yeah.
A fake news article claimed that a boxing promoter was killed for saying that the Mayweather-McGregor fight was fixed. Okay. So the fact that...
By Barry Gibson.
It says fake news article.
Yeah. Was he found dead for some other reason? Did he die of natural causes or something?
He was 90 and he was found dead for saying it was fixed.
What does Snopes say? Is there an article written on Snopes?
I see no. I don't think that there's any actual article.
No.
It's all fake.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, did you see the video of McGregor arguing with his old sparring partner? His old sparring partner. I understand.
Isn't his old sparring partner doing the commentary?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. The guy who he released the videos of.
The one who was shitting on him.
I don't see him doing a commentary unless he's doing them for someone else. I don't think he's doing the official commentary. No, I doubt it. I don't know who's doing them, but I doubt he's doing the official. If he's doing the official commentary, he's not showing up when Connor's walking in and just shit talking.
Well, let's see. I know
he's the guy that Connor.
Is that him?
Yeah, Connor. Pause it for a second. Just people know who.
Relax.
That's great. Connor knocked him down or something in a sparring. While they were sparring, and the footage got released after the guy denied that it happened. Like, they released photos, and then the guy, I guess, denied it, and then they released footage of it. And the guy is furious. I guess it's that whole, like, Matt Serra says whatever happens in the gym should stay in the gym.
Right.
But I think Connor's just trying to prove that
Connor needs it,
fight.
right? Yeah. Connor wants to look impressive, and I think that the guy who's sparring with him that's pissed, I guess I understand why he's pissed, but
it's like probably embarrassing.
It's a little embarrassing, but, like, his job is to spar for what is going to be one of the biggest money fights in history. Like, you have to understand
that's your gig.
You might have to be used as a promotional vehicle.
There's an $80 or $100 million for each guy at stake here. More for Floyd, I'm sure.
Yes.
Connor might make $80 million. I mean, they want people to buy this fight.
Floyd was on Kimmel talking about making $300 million.
He might, maybe Connor will make 100 and he'll make 300. But it's really weird with these guys, like how they just can't stop talking about how much money they're going to make. Like, athletes in general, I mean. Fucking shut up. We know.
Do all of them do it?
Mostly Mayweather does it. A lot of boxers do it.
Well, he's Floyd Money Mayweather. It's the money team. He's got tons of dough.
I really want to see him get his jaw broken. I don't even hate him. I just want to see him get his jaw broken.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't either. But I want to see it.
I want to see him get his jaw broken because I think it's funny that MGM would lose all that cash.
That would also be funny.
Like, that to me would be the funnest part. Because as much as Mayweather runs his mouth about how much money he has, Like, at least he's not.
And he also has none sometimes because I think he fucking doesn't he owe the government money?
He does owe the government money.
He talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, but at least he's not, the Vegas casinos that are taking money from these poor dopey tourists.
100%.
In,
100%. Yeah, Floyd, it's voluntary. Well, then again, it's voluntary in the casinos too.
It is, but you get carried away.
Yeah. Why this is not. So what happens? His old sparring partner shows up as Conor is kind of making his entrance into this. I don't know if it's into the MGM or where he was going. By the way, he was arriving.
Dude, this is just as embarrassing as getting knocked out in a gym. Like finding out that Conor McGregor, the big star, has someplace important to be. And he's like, I'm going to confront him as he walks in. Like,
he says he wasn't trying to talk to Conor. He was trying to talk.
I'll bet.
One of his people. But it is embarrassing when you're the guy sparring him in the gym and then you're just trying to get through a crowd.
Exactly.
It's like, ugh. I mean, but this guy's obviously a tough guy. I don't blame him for being embarrassed and annoyed.
Do you think he could beat you in a fight?
Yeah. With slapping me. He could beat me slapping me with one hand.
So if you got to use full fists and kicks and he could only slap, he would win?
By the way, I was on this training the other day with Matt Serra coming back just before we show this, and we were talking about something, and he just showed me a quick choke. Like I forget how he did it, but he put his hand in front and his other hand on the back of my neck. And you realize how helpless you are as a man when other men want to hurt you. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, I can't defend. The only reason men don't hurt me is because they don't want to. I can't defend against that.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Oh, I'm only walking around because other men are allowing me to.
Yeah.
It's fucking humiliating.
Real men have decided we don't have to get hurt today.
We don't want to hurt Jim or Sam. That's the only reason I am functioning is because a real alpha male didn't want to hurt me on my way to work.
At any point, a man could just come and hurt either one of us at their choosing, at their leisure.
It would have been, and I know he's a rare exception as a guy who can fight better than most people. But it was again, it didn't hurt me because he just, but it was the ferocity of it, like the absolute 100% lack of ability I had to do anything about it.
Well, you can feel his strength, and you're like, this is
in the second.
I don't have anything like this.
I literally was helpless to do anything but get choked.
That's why you should take MMA lessons.
I know I want to. That's why I'm working on my breathing.
Yeah.
I'm going. By the way, I'm gonna have to have surgery again. I went to my doctor yesterday. This all ties in. It's the only reason I don't take it. It's because I can't breathe and I can't sleep in my apnea mask. I'm tired all the time, so I'm going for surgery again before the end of the year. I just don't know when.
But in situations like that, most people like yourself or the rest of regular people just panic. Where they teach you to control your breathing and you pull their, there's ways to get around it.
Are you a jiu-jitsu black belt?
No. I took it for a very short amount of time back in Pennsylvania. One of my friends was way into it like years ago.
Oh.
So I just learned a couple of moves, but I just know that that's a way to deal with that situation.
So if anybody fucks with me, do you got my back?
It depends who it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart.
And why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're justified in it. I'm actually on their side for this one.
Scott Greenstein comes in here and chops you to the throat. I'm going to have nothing to say about it. If we're out in public, I'll help you. But yeah, well, let's see this. This is, and then Conor finally jumped in. When the guy was, I guess, confronting one of Conor's people, the guy kind of jumped in. Conor jumped in.
What are you saying? Relax. What are you saying? Relax. Did you bring your balls? Remember, did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls?
This is not the good audio. There's good audio of it from another.
Did you bring your balls?
Yeah, but Conor's there's another angle of it where you can hear Conor saying, and he's going, "You got your ass kicked. Just live with it or accept it." This one might be better.
Yeah.
Did you bring your balls? Did you bring your balls? All sparring. Remember what I said?
Yeah, he's saying you got your ass whooped. You got your ass whooped.
That is embarrassing. And now he doesn't get to hang out in the crowd.
Nope.
No, he gets pushed back.
And oddly enough...
Bring your balls Saturday, pussy. Remember what I said in the gym.
Bring your balls.
What I said in the gym.
And he's... Here's really embarrassing. He's yelling at the crowd's walking away.
Security acting like I'm a fan.
The security's acting like I'm a fan or something. The crowd is walking away. And this guy is like shouting at them because the crowd's not interested in him.
At all.
Even though he was like in Conor McGregor's face. Conor just left, and every single person went with Conor.
Of course.
Like 3 cameramen stayed with that guy because they were like, at least we get a shot of him. It's embarrassing. That's more embarrassing than getting knocked out in the gym.
Yeah, he was a champion too, I think.
Him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a good fighter. He wasn't a pussy fighter. He's a really good fighter.
Yeah, it's probably not him. But there is somebody, one of the guys doing commentary for the fight has been shitty about Conor McGregor. And that people are a little like, I don't know if that's right.
Well, the ref, I think, too, I don't know who's actually reffing the fight, but there was a guy who works for the Nevada State Athletic Commission who had said something like, why would anybody want to see that fight? It's two different sports. Like, he was critical of the idea of the fight, and then once it happened, there was talks about him being the referee. I'm not sure if he is or not. I don't know who boxing refs are.
Mauro Ranallo, I think, is doing the play-by-play for the fight.
Okay, well, that's not one of his old...
No. Mauro Ranallo is just a commentator.
Who's the guy for HBO Sports? I don't know a lot of the boxing guys. He's really good, though, man. HBO has some pretty good people working for them. He's got that very distinctive boxing voice. As soon as I see his face, I'll know who he is. It's not Jim Lampley. It's not Larry Merchant. That guy right there, the second guy and the young guy. Who is that guy?
Oh, yeah, that guy's on everything.
Not Jim Lampley. Is it? It's none of those three. Right
that guy,
there.
yeah.
He's a really good announcer. Max Kellerman. That's right, Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman. Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's I mean, I know his face. Does he do Real Sports or something?
Maybe. I've seen him do other stuff.
He used to do Around the Horn on ESPN.
That's where I know him.
Oh, is that where he's from, ESPN?
I think he was first from HBO and then ESPN. I'm not sure.
I found ESPN fired him because Max Kellerman sounds like Max killed a man. And so
they didn't like the sound of it? Okay.
Yeah,
they moved him to HBO where it's like anything goes.
Yeah. Right. And ESPN was like, that sounds like you killed somebody. And ESPN was like, that sounds like you killed somebody. We cannot have that here because people die sometimes. And we don't want to distract from the fight.
I get it.
And it's smart. That is smart.
Does anybody want to hear this? Michael wants to do his Bill Cutley character for us.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Just want to see if it's any good.
I'm going to pass.
It's 2 passes so far.
Troy.
Let's hear it.
God damn you, Troy, you asshole.
2-2.
Fuck you.
Hi, Michael.
BILLTETLEY. Bill Tetley.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait. Oh. Who's on the phone? Thank you. You wanted to do Bill Tetley.
Alina.
She wrote Bill Cutley?
Well, actually.
Thank you, Michael.
It is.
I thought it was a different.
It's Alina's last day.
Is it really?
Today, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is Alina's last day. And I don't know if you want to do it or not. The boys came to me with a bid idea in mind because they noticed Alina had an issue on the phone screen sometimes, which is similar to the Cutley thing.
Yeah.
That spelling is not necessarily her strong suit. Or hearing, no, but spelling is not her strong suit. And the boys kind of wanted to test out a spelling bee between Alina and another staff member who may also not be great at spelling.
I'd be fine with that.
You would?
Yeah, I certainly would.
Would you want to do that today?
I would like to do that a lot.
Who do you think would be the other staff member that might not be that good at spelling?
I'm going to guess it's Hot Dog.
No.
No. Is it Anthony?
No. It's actually Anthony's bit.
Okay. Is it Troy? Yes, it is.
I'll give you a hint.
I saw the light bulb go off on top of Jim's head.
Well, I'll give you a hint. One time he Googled Google. Who do you think?
That's spelling, though.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
But you're not the strongest speller, right?
No.
I'm
not.
That's a great idea.
Should we maybe take a break and then
come back
back and do a spelling bee?
What time is Mark Norton? Yeah, because we also have Stuart Copeland and Adrian Ballou coming in today. They're promoting this project called Gizmodrome. It's a self-titled debut album, and Stuart, of course, was the drummer for the Police.
Yeah,
he's one of the 10th best drummer of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. I mean, I knew he was a good drummer, but I didn't realize he was the 10th best.
And Adrian's played with a ton of people.
Yeah, he's like King Crimson for a long time.
Yeah, and he played with Bowie.
Yeah, and Frank Zappa.
Yeah, they're like a super group that they put together.
So they're coming in like in an hour, and we have Mark Norman. So when we come back, we'll hang with Mark, and we'll do that. I don't know how long they'll stay for, but whatever. All right, we'll be back shortly. I was never a huge Bowie fan. I only like a couple of their songs.
You ever hear Ground Control to Major Tom?
No, is that new?
It's brand new.
It's a B-side, I think.
Wow. Is Adrian Ballou on this song?
No. I just wanted to play the song. It's a good song.
You like it?
Cool.
I like it.
Mark Normand is here, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, welcome to the
here.
asylum.
Whoa, who's running it?
Well, the inmates.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna get kooky.
But you didn't see that coming, huh?
Mm-mm.
No way.
Yeah, it's wild today.
Yeah, every week I come, you got a new fun gag.
So you thought Anthony was going to be here today?
Yeah, I was all excited.
I saw Mark last night at the, we did the Street Joke show for Bennington, which was super, super fun over at the stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun because anybody can do it. I just looked up jokes on the internet.
Oh, really?
Of course they did.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get them?
Well, you got to know, like your uncle tells you, and you hold on to them.
No, I just looked him up online that day.
All right, so did I.
Who won it?
Wait, you can't. Oh my, I can't tell you who won it. It's going to air.
Oh, I see.
On,
Okay. I didn't realize how that worked. Okay.
Over on Raw Dog. I'll figure out what day it is, and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it was comedians versus non-comedians. So it was Aaron Berg. And
who were the comedians? Had to do it. Come on, what are we doing here?
Aaron Berg and Adam Ferrara versus me and Anthony Cumia.
Nice.
Yeah, which I was. Yeah, I was happy with my partner that was selected.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's the way it was going to go until I got there. But yeah, it was fun.
That is fun.
Everybody goes and just laughs at corny old jokes.
Yeah, Bennington's he's got great fans.
Yeah, he does.
They just love a good yarn.
There's a really good, by the way, there's a real a gift to being able to tell a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some guys are amazing. Jackie the Joke Man, obviously, was a great joke teller. It's hard to tell those old party jokes or those street jokes.
That's true. You know who's amazing at it, and he was on the show I did, Jeffrey Gurian.
Everybody was saying Jeffrey Gurian was terrific.
Really?
You couldn't touch him. Yeah, it was amazing.
He's a good joke teller.
Great. Well, he wrote with Jerry Lewis and all these guys and Milton Berle.
Did he write with all those guys?
Oh,
yeah.
Pull up some photos of Gurian. He's got like a huge porn stash and big glasses. When Jerry Lewis died, he showed a photo of them too, and he looks hot.
He was still showing everybody last night.
Oh yeah,
he was showing everybody the photos. Yeah, yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah,
so he's a really good.
Like street jokes. I mean, I don't know if he can do an act.
Yeah. No, I don't think.
Hold on,
he's,
we're just.
What?
No, you guys, no, don't. Just the guy we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I missed his first name.
Jeffrey Gurian.
Jeffrey Gurian. He was saying that he wrote on. I think he wrote with Jerry Lewis twice.
Oh, okay.
On like roasts and stuff like that.
Yes.
But yeah. It was.
So he's a good joke teller.
Yeah.
He killed. We couldn't follow him.
Really?
Yeah. Oh wait. Go back to images. Sorry.
Mark did.
Is there audio of Jeffrey Gurian telling a joke?
Look at that.
We'd have to.
There you go.
There it is. That one right there.
Look at that.
That's a cool shot. That's like King of Comedy Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
That's like 1983 Jerry Lewis. 82.
I think it was 87 is what he said it was.
Did Jerry? He looked like that late, huh?
I think so. I think that's what he said last night. But I could be wrong.
good.
I could be wrong.
Do
we have audio of Jeffrey Gurian telling a joke?
We'd have to go through the whole show. We can get it, but we'd have to go through the whole show and.
Yeah, he did the one I was on, and it was no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
My joke was.
You only did one?
Well, I just popped in.
Oh, okay.
But it was what's the hardest part of a vegetable to eat?
The wheelchair.
Shit.
Well, they didn't see it coming last night. I'll tell you, it worked.
No, they didn't.
It worked.
All right, how about this one, Jimmy? You want to stump somebody? Here we go.
I'm very stumpable at jokes, honestly.
All right. Pirate walks into a bar with a steering
wheel. Is he a butt pirate?
Is this it drives me nuts?
Shit! Come on! You guys really know how to spoil a party.
Nailed it.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It's not a bad joke.
Yeah, why you got that steering wheel in your pants?
It drives me nuts.
There you go.
He's a pirate.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not good at those jokes at all.
Come on.
I'm not.
Give it a whirl.
We should get the spelling bee started.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know. You've met Alina, our intern, before, right? The
BJ Queen?
The BJ Queen.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Today's her last
I think
day.
she's pretty good.
Today's her last day as an intern.
Oh, all right.
But Bill Tetley, somebody called in as Bill Tetley earlier, and she wrote Bill Cutley, which reminded us that she has had... And I don't see the phone screen. I don't know if Jim's noticed it, but I know the guys in the back have noticed that she has pretty substantial spelling issues.
Oh,
you know, she's got, is that fair, Alina? I mean, you're a smart woman.
No.
You're not.
I need school.
You do?
Yeah.
I need school.
I was absent on the day where they taught you how to sound out words.
I see. But you're just not a strong speller.
No.
No. The guys notice that. I don't know if they let you know that they notice that.
It's nice when they do. They're like, Alina, stop fucking up.
I didn't notice it was your spelling. I thought you couldn't hear.
Oh, I can't either.
Okay.
I ask them again, and then they tell me, and then like they'll say okay, and then they come on air, and then they're like, that's not what I said. But I double check with them.
You do?
I triple sometimes.
But a lot of times it's also spelling errors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I'll admit to that.
That's a thing too. Yeah. Troy is also.
I know. I noticed you spelled Jeffrey with a
I-E. I almost fucking.
No, he didn't.
I almost walked off the show.
Why would you?
He spelled Jeffrey Jeffrie.
Did you spell Jeffrey with an I-E at the end?
Sometimes it's spelled like that.
It's never spelled like that. That's the one spelling of Jeffrey that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's a G-E-O-F. It's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Jim Jeffrey's last name, and that even has an S. It's the only time I've ever seen it.
And
that's got an
fake,
S.
It's a fake name too.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not his real name.
No, he just threw that in there because of the JJ.
That's
so
pretty good.
It's Jim, Wilson or something.
You're kidding?
No. I hope I'm not outing him.
I should change my name
know
to
that.
Jim
Yeah,
Jeffries.
you should.
But yeah, the only reason that's an I-E is because there's an S at the end. You can't Y-S. That doesn't make sense. You'd have to put I-E-S.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's just Jeffrey, nobody's ever ended Jeffrey with an I-E. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Well, he's in a band. He doesn't need to spell.
By the way, speaking of bands, Troy's performing at the Electric Zoo with his band. Black Caviar was where I was going with that.
Ooh, good name.
Yes.
Yeah, Black Caviar. What's that about? What's that named after?
Rich Negroes?
It's just a band name.
Does that mean anything? Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we got on the Electric Zoo Festival next week.
Oh,
Labor
good.
Day weekend, which is huge. So
That's
Good
gigantic.
for you.
And where can people get tickets?
all our information's on our social media. Real Black Caviar.
What kind of band is it?
It's like house dance music.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Black
Ra-
Caviar.
Kind of like electronic raver music. Is that right?
Something along those lines.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's cool.
really?
Yeah, I like club music.
You do?
Yeah, I like to dance.
Uh-huh.
You like Sean Paul?
I do very much. So Anthony, you came up with this bit.
Yeah, I was keeping a list, her whole internship of all the words that she misspelled.
Okay, that's a real scumbag thing to do.
What a narc.
Did you know that was happening, Alina?
No.
Okay. How do you feel?
That's whatever. He's doing something at least.
Nailed him. Nailed him.
Wow.
Fuck you, dude.
This is like Bravo.
So I'm just going to run down the words that she misspelled. Grenade, committed, prisoner,
This is
mine.
wait. Is this you want her to spell them or
No. These are all the words throughout her internship that she misspelled relationship 4 times wrong.
Wait,
I love a tally.
4 different ways?
4 different ways.
Oh, that's incredible.
What's one of the ways she spelled it?
I can't. It's one of the words that.
Oh, I see.
So I don't want to. She spelled detector as Decatur. I don't know if she was
You
trying to.
dyslexic?
Maybe. I watched the episode of The Cosby Show, and like when Theo said he had it, I really related to that. I was like, maybe I do.
That's not a
Cool.
diagnosis.
That was
yeah, it's not exactly. I related to Theo. Hopefully not because you have the same kind of dad.
You think you might have sickle cell.
And the last word I'm going to say is military. She butchered Milatery.
Does that sound right, Troy?
No, that's not right.
Okay.
So I have
Troy's like, yeah, that's about right.
I have scratch paper here for both of you. I have Sharpies, and I'm going to pass this around right now, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give the first word.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, do spelling bees get scratch paper?
No.
They don't, right? I watch spelling bees all the time.
Yeah, you write it out on your hand.
Yeah, you got to do it on your hand. No scratch
yeah,
paper.
No, you just try to.
No
Fair enough. All right, so let's try.
Yeah, and we should set up that microphone in the center so it's like the National Spelling Bee.
Oh yeah, good
'Cause
idea.
I like watching the spelling bee.
And
Troy's pissed.
how old are you?
23.
All right, so you got the text generation, so every word's been spelled for you.
Yeah,
Right.
they just autocorrect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
If you
because-
spell happy, it's like what emoji.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
What number is that? Is that 6?
That's 6. Yes. Yeah. No chairs.
So you don't think it's
No, you have to stand like
a
the
cell phone
spelling
thing?
bee.
No, because when I spell words on my cell phone, my autocorrect came and like correct what I spelled.
Jeez.
That has no idea what you're doing.
My friend Johnny's like, Alina, I literally have to like try to think about what you're saying. Like he has to like sit there and think. That's why it takes so long to text.
Do
me
you
back.
have certain words that always, like the word "you" always writes out as "guy"? When I hit the wrong letter, like I'll be like, "So where are you?" And I'll write, "Where are guy?"
Because you're always wondering.
Kind of works.
That's just your texting habits.
Maybe.
It's a smartphone.
Troy, talk into that one so I can just.
Hello.
We're good to go.
Hey.
So in my mind, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the spelling bee works that the word is presented to you. You are allowed to ask for part of speech.
Part of speech. Yes.
You are allowed to ask for it to be used in a sentence, and then you have to spell the word. I think, right? Am I missing anything?
That's about right.
That sounds fair.
Fun. I always lose with spelling bees. I was the first one out always.
Well, that's actually why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Because that was actually...
If you were great at it, this wouldn't be fun.
I would have predicted
Right.
that. Troy, is this your way of saying you want to go first?
I don't care. Whatever. I appreciate if we could write it out so I could see it spelled
that's
out.
not how spelling bees work.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
'cause you might recognize that it will look a certain way, correct or wrong. So writing it out, no, you can't write it out.
No, you can't. Although, I mean, I don't know that it would help because there have been significant spelling errors on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've noticed that too?
Jeffrey.
So the first word.
She should go first.
Well, don't we have an
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I have an opener.
Anthony's got an intro.
Oh, I forgot. Anthony loves his bits.
He loves an intro.
He loves his production. Are you doing impressions? Okay, good.
No, it's cool.
Hello, friends. This is Anthony from the Jim Norton and Sam
You're in the
Roberts Show. We would not be doing our job correctly if we did not point out the shortcomings of our phone screener and intern, Alina.
Hey, by the way, who wrote this top caller on the who's answering the phones?
So we decided to have
That's
just
not
a
bad.
little bit of fun.
Let's have a spelling contest.
Today, we present to you the first annual Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
That's not fair. Rizzuto is not a word. He's a baseball player. You're cheating.
You know where it all went wrong was the day they started the spelling bee.
Spell that shit right, B.
All right, well done.
All right.
I mean, it ends very abruptly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like really,
Just like
really
him.
abruptly.
Oh,
yeah, there's no fade out. There's no anything.
Very
let's,
uncomfortable.
Let's get to it.
And you could have just said, like, the idea that we're doing a spelling bee at all, like, that is in and of itself. You could have just said the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts spelling bee. When you say, spell that shit right,
To spell that shit right, B.
yeah, I mean, then you're, like, adding a little attitude to it, and
Yeah.
it sounds like we're actually taking it seriously. It takes out some of the irony to it, and it becomes a little more of a hack bit.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Irony deficiency.
Right. Like,
There's
if I
no
said,
way to not be a hack bit with spelling bees, but sometimes it's just fun to embarrass people.
Yeah, that's what we're.
Yes.
That's your purpose here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, good.
All right,
Okay.
so the first word is, Elena, it's experience.
Oh,
Experience.
Okay.
coming out hot.
Would you like any help or do
You
know?
have no experience.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't ask any questions.
You're right, I'm sorry, I
She
apologize.
asks if she needs a sentence or part of speech.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Go on now.
Experience. EXPIERENCE.
That's
Experience.
correct.
That is right. Yeah, that is correct.
Woo!
Nice.
We're about to be excited.
Can we check the judges? That is correct, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Deflated.
So what do we do now? Do you spell
I'm gonna
for
keep
it?
track.
Or do you give it to Troy? Or
I
do you
give it to
just
Troy. I'm going to give it to Troy. I want to see if Troy can be able to spell it first, and then I will give the correct spelling of the word
Time
experience.
to steal the point, Troy. You got this,
Wait
bro.
a minute. Aren't you in that band Darky Fish Eggs?
Experience.
Yes.
EXPERIENCE.
Correct.
Nailed
Yeah. Is it Derek Bell? That sounds like shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the spelling bee. Congratulations, you won.
Is there a prize? Or a
No, there's
penalty
no
or anything?
Yeah.
No
Prizes
prize?
if you
A
win.
Cadillac is
Yeah.
first prize.
So this-
Second prize is a set of steak knives. Third prize is you're fucking fired.
This time Troy has to go first.
Yes, I like that, Troy. if that's
Because
okay with you.
otherwise
Right.
that's not fair.
Troy, the
You're not
word
being fair.
The word is millennium.
Oh,
Millennium.
As in Ascension Millennium? That's exciting. Ooh, Millennium. Look at Troy as he considers his choices. I've never seen anything like this. Millennium is a complicated word. Oh, he's going to make an attempt.
go for it.
M-I... Okay, start that over. Millennium. MELIENIEM.
Is that right? I think that could be.
I'm going.
You're off by 9 letters.
Elena, would you like to try to steal?
Yeah, but like, I don't know how to spell it. No, I don't.
Millennium.
Millennium.
Sounding
Falcon.
out, does that help me, guys?
Like as in like
The Backstreet Boys album, a great album.
You had that album.
Of course I had that. I had the poster.
Picture the poster.
Yes.
The
I'm
word
just
is on,
picturing the guys.
the word. Don't do that. The word is on the poster.
Millennium.
Right.
MILLENNIUM. millennium.
That's millennium. That's millennium.
Millium?
I don't know how to sound it. I was absent on the day of school, guys.
Millennium?
I mean, that is crazy.
Jesus.
Am
I mean, that's a hard word, but that was way off.
It's not a hard word.
There's a couple L's in there and a few I's and a U.
There's a U. I know that.
Does the judge want to put them out of their misery?
Millennium.
Millennium.
That's not easy. That's not easy.
Troy's over there going like, what am I, fucking Einstein?
No, but I would have fucked up the double N's in millennium.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have, I mean.
I would have got the L's, the I, the U, but I would not have got it with two N's. I would have fucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can we hear it again? Travis playing again.
Millennium.
Right.
MILLUEM. Millennium.
Millium.
Wow. I think that was Metamucil.
I farted. You're walking right into a fart.
All right, I guess it's time for our next big word. And this time, Elena goes first.
Yes,
is that
she
right?
does.
Okay.
The word is administrator.
Fuck.
Administrator.
That's a very easy one.
That's easy.
It's not because it's on the list. Administrator. ADIMINADISTOR. Administrator.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Travis,
Yeah.
play that back.
I want to spell the word.
Like 20 seconds.
I want to spell that
Okay,
out.
well, in the meantime, then, Troy, you're up. While Travis is finding that thing.
Yes.
Administrator?
Administrator.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Administrator. What?
I just smell the fart.
Yeah, I can smell fart, too.
Thank
Wow.
you.
It's pretty good. All the way over the counter.
Thanks, man.
ADMINISTRATOR.
That's it.
Look at Troy! 2 points for Troy. And if we could now go to the instant replay.
She was close, though. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, Troy almost lost that one. If we could go back to Alina's spelling.
Are you going to write this one down?
Yes.
All right.
Administrator. ADIMINADISTOR.
Wow, you threw an extra I in there.
Just for fun.
You wrote Adaminidaster.
That's what I got too.
Adaminidaster.
Adaminidaster.
I think you're a little dyslexic because you put the I am, and I think that you've seen admin written so many times that instead of ADMIN, you wrote ADIMN. I think you're a little dyslexic.
I love this show because no one's told me that before.
Yeah,
that's my
It's just nice.
That's my thoughts. The second time you reverse something, but when you say add them ADIM, I'm like, oh, okay, that's just from seeing admin written.
Yeah.
Flipping it.
Or you love a diamine.
All right,
Troy, you're up.
You're up.
Let's,
Come on, Troy.
do a little something, not tricky. Prisoner.
Prisoner.
It's a tough one. Because you think it's spelled a certain way and it's not.
Right.
PRISIONER.
Prisoner. That's correct.
That's correct.
Well, hold on. Let's give Elena.
I don't want to give
Is
Elena
that-
a chance.
Oh, it's incorrect.
Is that not
is
correct?
incorrect.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
that's definitely incorrect.
That is incorrect. Okay. Prisoner, Alina.
Prisoner. PRISONEER. Prisoner.
Prisoner?
Come on.
Why would you put a double E?
Prisoner?
For the laughs, honestly.
Why would you?
No. Try to
She
get
didn't do
it.
it for the
I
laughs.
did. I really don't know how to spell it. I thought there was two.
You got the O right.
Why would
Yeah.
there be 2 E's?
I thought you were
English,
home
it's
free. I'm like, she's got this one. Prisoner.
Prisoner is a very easy word. How did you both miss prisoner?
I don't
Come on.
understand that.
Think about your dad.
Spelled out, I could do it.
Now,
Yeah, anyone could see it if they spelled it. If they saw it spelled out, they could see it.
Troy, are you also in your early 20s?
Yeah, but
I just because we had. How old are you, Alina?
23.
23. Troy, you're.
my job doesn't require spelling.
No,
computer.
your life. I mean, technically, your
right.
job
He's a DJ.
requires spelling.
Well, I mean, that's what the autocorrect is for.
That's
Prisoner.
Well,
Prisoner.
let me write it out, and I could get it right if I could write it out.
Yes.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Now, is this
Is Troy up 1-0?
2-0.
2-0.
Oh, wow.
all right? Well, then let's have.
Alina goes first now.
Okay, Alina.
All right.
Because, by the way, both of Troy's points have been stolen points, so he's gotten to hear it spelled
That's true.
wrong.
Good point.
So let's see if he gets this one right.
Nobody has actually gotten a word right in the first attempt.
No.
Elena, the word is passionately.
Oh, fuck.
Love that. Love that. I mean,
think about those dongs.
I can spell dongs.
Don't say that, Mark. She's going to say BLACK.
Okay.
Passionately.
Passionately. PASSIONATELY. Passionately.
That sounded correct.
Yes!
All right.
Can't spell prisoner though.
And I prisoner.
I figured you were finished with that one.
Yeah,
So
me
did
too.
I.
That
Troy, there's no way you would have gotten that.
Of course I would.
No, you would not have gotten it. You got
Do it real
prisoner.
quick, passionately.
PASSIONATELY.
Okay.
Well, you heard her do it. You heard her do it.
Good for a point for Alita.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now it's Troy's turn, right?
It is Troy's turn. Troy, the word is
Better not be over one syllable.
pharaoh.
Oh boy. That's a good one.
That's a good word.
Let my people go.
That's right.
He is contemplating right now.
This is one of Charlie's angels.
PHAROAH.
No.
Oh!
Close. That's a lot of vowels in there.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker.
Go on now.
Good,
Steal it,
good
Alina.
attempt.
For the tie.
Pharaoh. PHAROH. Pharaoh.
Say it again for me, please.
PHAROH. Pharaoh.
Incorrect.
I would have spelled that one wrong, too.
That's a heartbreaker.
PHARAOH.
Ah, you
Troy was just reversed.
That was close, though, Troy. That was impressive.
Yeah,
That
I
was
would have fucked that one up.
There's
too.
2 words left.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're really getting down in the nitty-gritty on this one.
I'm going to let you go first.
Thank you.
Liaison.
Fuck me.
No, that's all right. You got it.
Yeah, this is not...
Liaison.
That's
Yeah,
easy.
you got this
What
one.
what did someone call in for liaison? I don't remember caller.
No,
You're the liaison between us and the Down syndrome community.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's not.
Liaison.
This word hasn't actually been said on the phone before, but it's just a word that any 23-year-old should know how to spell.
It's never been said on the show, I don't
Right.
think.
No,
I don't
we
think
never use it.
This is my word.
But it's just it's
I'm
not.
gonna
It's,
kick your ass. Okay, liaison. LAISSAH. I really have no idea.
Dyslexia.
Liesa.
So it's
That's
not.
a girl I know. It's Liesa.
That's dyslexia.
Is that not right? LAISSAH.
I think you're educated enough to know that you know that's not right.
Troy.
All right, Troy. Let's see if you can.
You're getting so much joy out of this.
Troy for the
I'm
steal.
going to screw this one up.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's a weird, it's a French word, right?
Yeah. But it's not that hard.
Spell it out.
We actually do use it in the
I
English
know.
language as
Yeah.
well.
Don is the liaison between us and management.
Right. Right.
I'm going to spell it the way it sounds, but I know it's not it.
A masseuse is the liaison between you and semen.
Okay.
See?
Fair enough.
That makes sense, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now you put it that
Is
way.
she though? No. She's not the connection between him and cum.
She's the conductor.
She's the conductor.
Well, would he like the definition?
No, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
Doesn't mean anything. Oh, I just got the fart.
Come on, no
Jesus.
way. That's 25 minutes ago.
it's still sneaking around in here.
It's
Yeah, you're just
lingering.
trying to butter me up.
It's the liaison.
It's like that Annabelle doll.
LIEASON.
Close.
No.
That's incorrect.
Put an extra E.
That's incorrect.
And I do think that you have dyslexia.
It's an
I
A.
do too.
Cool. It's
wanna-
LIASON.
LIA.
That easy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Don't be intimidated by the French.
No, it's not.
Oh, did the judge screw it up?
Big
It's
trap.
LIAISON.
LIAISON. Oh, hi.
Aha.
Oh,
God,
what
you're here,
he's
Trav.
an idiot.
The judge got one
for
wrong.
that.
The judge is stupid.
Travis, how is it spelled?
LIAISON.
Oh, yeah.
Double
There's the
I.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You didn't know that.
No,
Why
I
did-
didn't. I
So
didn't.
why
You know
did you say, oh yeah, like you were
He
reflecting on
assumed.
something?
Because
I would have got liaison wrong too.
Yeah, but you're not the judge of a spelling bee.
No, I know that, but I'm not as good a speller as I thought.
All right, well, this is Troy. If you get this right, you get the win.
Wait, is this the last word?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a 2-point word.
Yeah, we can make it a 2-point word.
Of course we're making it a 2-point word, which means whoever gets this word, which means...
Well, if Troy gets it, he wins. If Alina gets it, she can win.
3-point word.
Well, no, because it's 2-1. So if Alina, whoever gets this wins.
Yeah.
If it's 2-1, if Troy's already ahead,
Yeah, but it's a 2-point word, which means if Alina gets it, that's 3-2.
But if Troy gets it,
Then he wins too. That's 5-1.
Let's make it a 100-point word.
Or 4-1.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, whoever.
Whoever gets this wins.
Okay.
Shouldn't we do Alina first though? Since it's her
But
last
if they
day?
both, if they both get it,
they're not going to both get it. How could they both get it?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Or we just not say whether the first person got it right.
Yeah, I'm not going to
That's
say it.
interesting.
There you go.
that.
Fucking Travis dog, tefting up all over.
Trap dog.
Oofa.
The word.
Wow. The kennel is closed.
The word is handkerchief.
Oh, nice one.
Not Troy Kwan of Black Caviar, not feeling confident.
Yes.
No.
Use it in a sentence. You wipe your belly off with a handkerchief.
Uttering
If I could write it out, I would definitely.
Right on your hand, like the Indians do.
Yeah, yeah. The Asian kids in the spelling bee always use their finger to write out. Like, he's thinking.
HANKER. Wait, start over.
Oh, God.
He's lost confidence
Remember,
already.
don't say anything.
I'm on the edge of my not caring.
HANKERCHIEF.
Alina, same question.
Okay. Handkerchief. HANKERCHIEF. Handkerchief.
Oh, she was off by one letter.
Did anybody get it?
No.
Okay, so Troy wins.
What
but-
did Troy say that was wrong?
Troy, everybody both forgot the D. It's handkerchief.
Oh, I would have got that wrong.
What
I never
a
get the
word.
D.
And Elena, for my own amusement, can you spell relationship?
Yeah. REALTIO.
Damn. That's classic dyslexia.
Travis, can we?
Yeah, I
we-
was
can we
trying
have
to
that
write
back?
it down and I lost track. Yeah, give me a second.
I have a chance to spell that?
Sometimes she just like starts spelling words and it really just sounds like letters.
It just
by the
starts
end
going
of
off
it.
into a whole other,
right.
whole other
It's
place.
the alphabet.
Like, I don't think this is a word anymore.
Relationship. RELATIONSHIP.
Yeah.
Something you don't have with your dad.
That was a non-contest.
Yeah.
By the way, is that the final score?
2-1.
Troy wins 2-1.
Yeah.
How many words? How many words?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They were out of 9 words. Troy got 2.
Hard words.
They weren't hard words.
Pharaoh is no.
I would have fucked up liaison and Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Travis, where did you hear back this last spelling to relationship?
REALTIO.
Damn. That's classic dyslexia. Sorry. I stepped on that.
Realty and ship.
You want it again? Or did you get it?
I got it. Realty and ship. She just threw a T in there.
Administrator.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. Administrator.
Do you have the many spellings of the word relationship?
She spelled it the way she spells it, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes she adds an extra I.
Yeah, common mistake.
It's weird. And I was like, oh, maybe the first time I was like, oh, she just rushed it. And then the past 5 times it was this.
It's definitely dyslexia because she's writing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're dyslexic.
Cool.
Oh,
Congrats.
yeah, no
Thank
doubt about
you.
it.
Yeah.
You can get a handicap sticker on your car.
That's
Yep.
sick.
And
That's
you could-
important.
I think you can put a vest on your dog too.
Oh.
Ooh, I get a dog too.
Yes,
yeah,
you
that's
do.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
You get to pet it on the plane.
I want to put something else on the plane. But
What do you want to pet on the plane?
a dick.
Give a guy a hand job.
I thought it was going there, and
That's
it did.
cool. That's cool. Well, thank you all for being a part of the first annual spelling bee. I mean, that was terrific. Was that not great?
Good times.
That was great. That was great.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with yourself now, Alina? Now that you're leaving us,
Cry.
you're gonna cry for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Where are you
Where?
moving
Where are
to?
you going?
East 75th and 2nd Ave. I got a nice apartment.
Okay,
Upper
well,
East
I don't know if
Side.
you want to announce the cross street, but but I mean, when you say you're moving, you're just moving to a different place in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
Do you have roommates?
Yeah, best friend.
Okay. How many bedrooms is this new place?
2.
Okay.
No living room. I'm kind of pissed about it. But nice rooftop.
What's the most valuable thing you've learned throughout your internship? You're actually the first Jim Norton and Sam Roberts intern, right?
I believe so, yeah.
That's
You are.
incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was the best teacher here?
Either Travis or Rob.
Okay, that's so what you're doing is just taking a minute to point out that everybody except Anthony was a good teacher.
Well, Anthony was good, but like I don't know, Rob like taught me like things about like editing. Like Anthony never really did.
Rob was only here for half of your
I know,
internship.
that's just a lot.
and Anthony was here for the whole thing.
I know.
Is there any,
I know.
any sexual chemistry with Anthony?
No.
Come on.
Oh no.
Feels
but
like
my
there's
friends
something.
like him.
They
Oh,
do?
really?
Yeah, I'm gonna hook them up.
Hey, there you go.
She's
Okay.
pretty. He liked the picture of her too.
What did you what's the most valuable thing that you've learned? By the way, somebody just posted on our Twitter a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio from What's Eating Gilbert Grape with the caption Troy spelling words in his head.
Is he implying that Troy's not bright?
Yeah, he's implying that there may be a severe learning disability.
Oh no.
He nailed that role, by the way.
He did. So did
No,
Troy,
Oscar.
though.
That's what I was talking about.
So did I don't want to say his name as the mother.
Roland?
I had a couple of friends in mind.
He did. Was there a stunt double that you could use as well?
Yep.
So what was the most...
Probably how to run a show, because I did an internship before, which like only had 3 people, and you guys have like such a big crew,
Right.
And there's so much that goes into it. It's really exciting, and it makes me want to have my own show and like do the writing, do the producing, editing, the videos, everything. It's like such a big thing. It's so cool.
But you want to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll have people help me if I want, but I can do it all because you taught me everything, guys.
Yeah, that would make sense. You gave us cards?
Yeah, Jim, I have a card for you. I'm sorry, Mark. I've made you an offender
Oh,
coming on.
It's fine. Just blow me.
I want to, so hit me up at
Jeez.
12.
Thank you.
That's consent.
Thank you.
All right, you going to read that,
Well, look at that. It's a
Sammy?
It says, I choose you, and there's a picture of a train on it.
Oh, maybe she wants you to pull a train on her.
It says, from your biggest fan, with a fan on it.
Aha.
It says inside, look in the tunk.
Oh, that's very
I
long.
think it means trunk. It says, should I read this out loud?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Sam, you are an inspiration. You are on the Hall of Fame for interns. I'm not an intern.
But you
I'm
were.
Oh,
Yes.
And then you made it big.
You are proof hard work, love of Chick-fil-A, and a great head of hair can get you very far. Thank you for giving me the chance to be on the air, to write for the show, and to talk to you. I love you. I love your style. I love your choice in fast food chains. I'm starting to feel like you did not get to know me very well. That's the second Chick-fil-A reference.
No, but we talked about it a lot.
No,
What's
you're
that
right.
thing?
You are like the nanny. You're like the...
But they had a TV show.
You mean Fran Drescher?
Yeah.
Why?
You got style, you got flair, but most importantly, you got good hair. It's getting repetitive.
Yeah, it
already.
certainly is.
And then it says again, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, thank you so much. XOXO. Well, thank you very much.
I love you, Sam.
You're a wonderful person.
You're a wonderful person.
That's really great. That's really nice.
Nice card.
That's really nice. Did you get one?
I did. It said,
What's
Jim.
what's the front? What's on the front?
Oh, the front is from your biggest fan.
Oh,
It's the same as yours.
same shit. Okay.
Jim, hi, it's Alina writing. I love you.
Okay.
Thank you for always wanting coffee in the morning. I made real nice friends at Starbucks because of you.
It's true.
Thank you also for inviting me to your 4th of July party. You really didn't have to, but I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for giving me chances to write for the show and teaching me how to be a better writer. This summer has been amazing, and I really appreciate you putting me on air also. You're a good man, Jim. And something...
Is it tough?
Jim Norton. You're a good man, Jim Norton. I am thankful to know you. I love you. XOXO Alina. Very nice.
Very nice. That's very nice. That's very,
I
very
gotta
nice.
say, her letter to Jim sounded more heartfelt than me.
Did it? Is it
Do you mean
because
there were more specifics
Yeah.
on why I was a terrific guy?
Yep.
Which
Which there are.
mention my style, hair, and Chick-fil-A.
Did she mention that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I only went to Chick-fil-A once while she was
You
an
don't
intern.
really do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to go all the time, so that's...
Yeah,
You
we
know.
bonded.
Yeah, no, yeah, we obviously... You can tell we bonded, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's fairly evident. So what's next for you?
School.
Yeah? What are you going to major in?
Spelling?
I wish. I'm a writer. I'm doing writing and literature.
Hey!
Yeah,
Okay.
and I want to transfer to UCLA next year. So
I
I'm
see.
trying really hard to do really well this semester. I got a fellowship for screenwriting that I'm doing.
That's awesome.
That's really good. Good for you.
Thank you. And that it's going to be tough. And then I'm joining the swim team too. I'm trying to get fit.
Hey!
That's
Trying
a
to keep it
hard way
tight.
to do it, though, on a competitive swim team.
It's great. It's the best way to do it. I did in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Works every muscle.
Yeah.
It does, right?
It's so good. It's the best way to lose weight and the best way to feel good. You don't break anything.
I can't swim overhand, though. I can't swim like with your face in the
I
water.
can teach you. I'm a swim instructor. Also.
I can't do it. I like to
What do you
doggy
mean you
paddle.
can't? So then you can't swim.
No, I can't. I can doggy paddle. I can stay afloat. I breaststroke. I
love the
breaststroke.
breaststroke. It's so easy. It's good.
Yeah.
Is that good for you as well?
Yeah, it's great for your thighs and for your arms.
Huh.
What's good for your chest and stomach?
Well, that would probably be a free stroke when you just kick with your feet. You can use if you can't use your arms, you can use a paddleboard and
Ooh.
kick with your feet with that.
Why don't you just use the floaties on your arms?
Because I'm not worried about sinking. I just don't know how to do. I can't do that. I could do this overhand, but I can't do it with my face in the water, turning and breathing.
Yeah, that takes a while.
That's hard to do.
You have to keep your mouth open actually when you're underwater.
Do you?
People don't know that. Yeah, to breathe. So you breathe the water in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you mean you breathe the water in?
You're like blowing bubbles with your mouth open underwater, so you're breathing that way.
Are you breathing out?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you breathing every time your head comes up? You breathe or no?
Well, you're breathing underwater a lot too, and then when you turn, that's when you take a big breath, and then you go back down. You keep
What do you mean you're breathing underwater?
Your
So like you
mouth's
breathe
open.
out underwater.
You exhale.
You're like your mouth is open. Yeah.
But
Most people-
nothing
most
goes
people
in because you're
keep it-
exhaling.
Yeah, most people keep it closed. They think they don't want water to go in, so that's why it takes more breath out, so they go back up for more air. If you have it open, you can keep swimming faster.
I don't get it.
So you're swimming, right? You
No,
go
I
like
can't
this.
do it.
Out of water, and then you go back in water and you go,
Yeah.
I can't. Doesn't that make you claustrophobic to do that?
what? No, why would I be claustrophobic? You're not like under
My nose is
underwater.
stuffy already.
You can
I
go
just
right
can't.
back up.
Yeah, you just lean your head
No,
up.
my nose is
Your ears
fucking,
are above
I can't. I'm
water.
terrified not breathing.
Next
I
week,
can't breathe.
show from a
Keep
pool.
So, what about the manhunt?
I went on 2 dates this weekend.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And I decided that it's me. I'm the problem.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and it's awful, and I'm just over guys.
What do you think that? Well, no,
Where'd you meet them, first of all?
well, you shouldn't be over guys.
gyms.
If you're the problem, you should correct the problem.
Well, it's very mature,
No,
though.
I think it's me though. Like I think I have an idea of what I like when I meet a guy, and then I go out with them, and then they're not that, and then I get upset that they're not that, and then I just don't give them enough time to.
Well, what do you want them to be?
I went out with this one guy, Michael, I've been obsessed with for like a year, and I finally got him out. I'm so excited, so pumped. He didn't really want to talk about, he didn't want to get to know me. He just wanted to talk about himself, which I thought was really annoying.
By the way, that's the thing that women say is the most annoying shit, when a guy yaps about himself
Yeah.
more than anything.
Because it just I already know a lot about him. That's why I like him. Like I got to know him already, and I feel like if he was interested in me, he would generally ask me questions and stuff. But
What did he say about himself?
He kept talking about like how much money he made and like how his
that's cool.
Did he really? I never did it. I just drop my billfold on the table and go to the bathroom. Hope she counts it.
He talked about how like I was like immature and I'm 18. I was like, you don't even know me. How can you? Because I look young. He's like, yeah, you just remind me of someone who's 18. I'm like, but
Jeez.
I'm not.
How old is this guy?
He's 24, and I'm 23. But he's so hot though.
Oh, really?
But he's a douche.
He's a douche, and like I knew that, but like I'm glad I got that out of the way because now I'm just like over
Did you
him.
blow him?
No, I want to still.
Did you kiss him?
No, I just
Damn.
No, I just knew right then. Like I think I know instantly if I really want to continue it. And I spent so much effort. Like I asked him out. I bought the stuff. Like I bought lunch for us and stuff.
Okay.
I always.
But he's
buy them.
rich.
I know, but I asked him out. My mom said if you ask someone out, you have to pay.
How did he mention that he made money?
Sounds like one of those feminists.
Aha.
He just brought it up randomly. He was like, "How much do I?" was like, "I got it. I asked you out, whatever." And then he's like, "It's okay. I make a lot. I can cover if you ever need help with anything." I was like, "I don't."
That's cool.
I can cover if you ever need help with anything.
Yeah, like what? I don't like.
I have tons of dough.
I need a
Yeah.
bike.
Right.
What kind
Yeah.
of douche says that?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
and
sugar daddy
it was
stuff.
It was so
which is fine.
annoying. But like,
You're not against sugar daddy stuff?
No.
it was too much of that. And then I went
Thank
with a guy-
God for it.
That's where you opened up the pool, huh?
Oh my God, it's needed.
And then I went with a guy last night. I went to Blockheads, and I had a great margarita.
Where'd you meet him?
At the gym. I work at a gym. I work at two gyms.
Oh, the
so-
gym pickup.
Yeah. So I
Nice.
saw with the shirt off already, so I knew what I was working with. It was
Mhm.
good. He does triathlons. He's very hot, but like he was okay. He was kind of boring.
Mm.
So
A boring hot guy?
yeah.
Did he talk about himself too much?
No, he got my jokes, so he laughed. It was cool.
But he just wasn't exciting.
Yeah.
Did the other guy not laugh at your jokes?
He's so annoying because, like, I'll say pussy. This bitch is like, Alina, be quiet, we're in public. Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Gross.
Like, if you can't say pussy in public, you fucking can't talk dirty in the bedroom. Probably fucking vanilla as shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't get behind that.
You gotta be a good dirty talker.
Yeah, I just also, like, I don't like people to tell me to be quiet. Like, that's not okay. Like, don't tell me to shh. Like, I can say what I want.
Yeah, but you understand that, like, if a person is the type of person to tell somebody to be quiet, you'd be the person they would tell that to.
I get told that, but, like, they laugh and joke around. The way he said it, was trying, like, he was, like, trying to demean me kind of thing.
Right.
And that wasn't cool.
Right after the immature thing, now he's saying quiet down.
Yeah. Like, what? Like,
and he threw money in your face.
Right.
He did. He threw $10 at me. I was like, I'm worth way more than 10.
Damn.
Yeah. It was,
11.
Yeah. And 50 cents.
There you
For
go.
this ball and chain.
Make it rain.
Yeah.
So what? So you're gonna swear off men?
I'm just not going to focus on it right now.
I see.
If a dick comes, it comes. Hopefully in my mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good philosophy.
What are you
Very
looking?
spiritual.
What is it that you're looking for?
I don't know.
You just a minute ago said you did.
But, like, I feel like I want someone that, like, is a good person, and, like, I work a lot, and so I want them to understand that, like, I'm hardworking, that I have great work ethic, that I'm doing something towards a future. That I'm not just like he works in finance, Michael, so I think he thinks he's better than me because I'm still doing part-time job and still in school, and, like, I'm going towards something, and I think he's not I'm very ambitious, and I want someone that's ambitious also, and I want someone that just, like, yes, I'm going to be inappropriate, but don't try to quiet who I am down.
Oh,
That's
don't
not
try
okay.
to put out your fire.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
don't. I want to be equals, and I feel like a lot of guys I meet, they either think that, like, I'm, like, just a sex toy, which would be great if you're good at playing with me, but most guys aren't. And then, like, I just feel like they don't treat me like the same. Like, oh, well, she has, like, a little dream, that's cute, but, like, I'll pay for it. But I don't need guys to pay for me. Like, I can take care of myself. I want someone that's with me as a partner.
Yeah. You don't want someone who's going to try to dominate it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but, like, not like that.
Except when it's, I understand.
Sounds like an older guy might be the recipe here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I don't know, 30-year-old guys are annoying. Also, they're very immature. I met a lot of those.
Dirty, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Dirty.
But we'll see.
Well,
I'll text you the moment I have sex.
Oh, someone wants to dirty talk you.
Ooh.
That's nice.
All right.
What's up, Dan?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I'm calling for the dirty talk.
Yes. I want to make her pussy wet, if I might.
I wasn't calling it dirty. I wasn't calling to, but I was curious. She said she likes dirty talk, but Jim, what do you think Chippa would say to her?
Oh, I literally didn't even read that right. It said, how would Chip dirty talk Alina? I really did read that.
Oh, you didn't realize you were picking up just a setup phone call?
No, I honestly didn't. No. Oh, I don't know, Dan.
Well, I think it would sound a little something like this.
Yeah. Gonna lick your coda.
That's all right.
Something like that. All right, thanks, Dad. Sorry, I misread that.
Well, I think Alina's going to be. I think she's going to be successful.
Yeah, I do too.
She's very, very creative too. She was writing some stuff for the show. She's more creative than these jamokes, that's for sure.
A lot of Chick-fil-A.
She's one of my favorite interns we've had.
We've only had the one.
Well, I mean, other interns.
Really?
Yeah, because she's very funny. Her writing is very good.
Who's a better intern, her or Hot Dog?
Hot Dog's really good.
No, but as an intern.
As an intern.
What's that? He is on line one. Yeah, he's on hold. He just wants to listen to the spelling bee. Oh, okay, hold on.
Who?
Hot the dog.
Oh.
Hot dog.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
I heard the last question. I was a horrible intern, so.
Yeah, Hot Dog wasn't a good intern.
Yeah, I would say Alina's a better intern.
He fell asleep. What do you think of Alina's tenure, Hot Dog?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for the next intern to show up.
Wow. Okay, that's not that cool.
Is that all you wanted to say?
No, I was actually just listening to the show.
I'm just a fan. Hot Dog. You actually have the ability to come here and not only listen, but
yes.
help out with the show. You can listen to the show here while you're working.
No, yeah, I realize that. I'm on my way.
By the way, Travis, you said that you said he wanted to get put through.
Yeah, well, I said, Anthony, see if Hot Dog wants to say goodbye to Alina. And he talked to Hot Dog. And then Anthony said, yeah, Hot Dog said, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very Hot Dog thing to do. Yeah.
Very enthusiastic.
And then he goes and then right now you go like, would you want to say goodbye? And he go, yeah, bye.
Yeah, you didn't say goodbye yet.
I'll I'll miss you, Alina. You were fun to be around.
Oh, thank you, hot dog.
There is no sincerity.
Send me a blowjob video.
All right, yeah, I'll
You
show you later.
promised. Yeah, Daddy.
All right, cool. This is getting too sappy. All right. Goodbye, hot
This
dog.
is too much. I can't believe the connections that we've built here on this show. It's like, Jim and I just come in and we do this show, not realizing the amazing bonds.
Yes.
Travis said that he wanted to say goodbye, so I'm like, all right, he probably wants to say.
And he's just like, yeah, bye.
I think, do we have to?
We should take a break.
We have Stuart Copeland and Adrian Ballou coming in. They're promoting a new project.
Alina, you did great.
Yes, good job. Thank you for all the hard work.
Yes, and we'll be back with Stuart Copeland.
And Mark Norman staying, right?
Mark Norman,
hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian can come in.
Yes.
Stuart can join
Stuart's
us.
taking a dump. All right.
Adrian, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Well, hello. How are you guys?
Hi, good. How are you?
Fancy you being here in the studio.
That's what we do. Fancy you
Interesting.
being here, huh?
Well, it's what I do too.
I guess so. I guess that's right.
Well, do you enjoy it? A lot of people hate going out and doing press for a project. They hate it, or some people love it.
You know what? I love to talk, and I got a billion stories. You can never shut me up.
Really?
So, really. We just did something else, and it went by in a half an hour. I thought I said one thing, and it was just. I talk and I.
Have you
never
always been
stop.
that way, or was it when you started interacting with?
I don't think I was always that way, but after you have enough experiences,
you got your
it's
stories. You're like,
it's like something. Anything you mention, I can probably say something about because
oral sex.
I don't have anything to say.
Nothing with Elton John.
Elton John.
Hey, what Zappa albums did you work on, or did you work with him just live?
Well, I was on the Chic You Booty album.
That's one of my favorite records of all time.
And I did the Bob Dylan imitation that was on there in a song called Flakes. And the way that happened, I was hanging out at Frank's house one night, and he was showing me some music that he would be teaching the band the next week. And he was writing a song called Flakes. And when he played it for me, it sounded like a really bad folk song. So I started making fun of it, and I started singing it. I'd ask as nice as I could if my job would. And he said, that's it.
Yeah.
That's going in the
Somehow
show.
be finished by Friday. Yeah, that's so great. It's one of my favorite albums ever. Wow.
Years later, Paul Simon actually introduced me to Bob Dylan, who was standing in the stairwell at the club, at a club here in New York. He just walked over and opened the door and said, I want to introduce you to somebody. Opens the door, and there's Bob Dylan standing in the stairwell. And he said, Bob, here's Adrian Ballou. And Bob said, I heard of you.
Had he heard your impression in the song?
And that's what I always wanted to know. What did he hear of me? He never said anymore. So I was
didn't
kind
ask
of
him?
left. I was left with, well, what did you hear?
Why didn't you ask him?
I was starstruck.
You were.
Yeah, I was starstruck.
Plus, you never want to ask a guy, you hear the impression I did of you.
Yes.
By the way,
Yeah.
Bobby Brown off that album Bobby Brown Goes Down could be my favorite song of all time.
Well, I'll tell Frank that when I see him.
Hopefully soon.
No, hopefully not soon. not at all soon.
How well did you know him? I mean, he died. He was like one of those guys that wouldn't go to a doctor, right?
Frank?
Yeah. They
I
said he
don't
just
know. I
hated
never
doctors.
asked him that, but I knew him very well because I was the one guy in the band who didn't read music, totally self-taught. So we would rehearse 5 days a week in a big film studio. On Friday night, I would get in his car, go home with him, and spend the weekend there, and he would show me the upcoming things. That's why just the story I just told. So for 3 months, I virtually lived in Frank Zappa's house every weekend.
Wow.
Which I have a lot of stories to tell about.
Was he a wild liver? Was he like a kind of a clean life, or was he? Or
He was a
he,
very clean living guy and the hardest working person I can ever recall working with. I mean, he just worked from the time he slept late and then he worked all day and all night.
Yeah, they said Prince did that too. I guess a lot of musicians are on their own schedule. You guys kind of have you're not 9 to 5 people. Hi, Stuart.
Stuart Copeland.
Big Stu.
Hey, look, gang. Hey,
What's
look,
going
it's
on,
Stuart
man?
Copeland.
Like this, like that.
Yeah.
Are we on air?
We are.
We're just
on
talking
the
about
air.
Frank Zappa and how he would sleep. How he would, I guess, sleep all day and then work at night.
Work a lot. He was a very hard working guy.
Was he one of those guys like Prince who would just kind of go, I got an idea, and then just get everybody together?
No, not at all like that. He was very controlled. Not an idea like, here's my idea. It was sort of, here's the music, play it correctly.
Oh, okay. He had a definite idea of what he wanted.
Most everything was done
Deliberately.
Yeah, and it wasn't, working in Frank's band wasn't where you got to do your own thing. It was where you got to do his thing correctly and consistently. But that was okay because that's exactly what I needed at that point in my life, sort of a year's worth of tutelage. You know, I was self-taught. I never had anybody show me how to play in 7/8 until I met Frank. The next year I played with David Bowie. It was just the opposite. David just wanted me to go wild and would never give me any instructions. So there you go.
Interesting.
And Stuart, welcome to the show.
Well, can I just complete that thought?
Sure.
My favorite brag about Adrian, this is the man stolen from Frank Zappa by David Bowie. Thank you very much. That right there is a CV. Never mind Talking Heads, Graceland, all the other
Really?
Crimson and everything like that. The man who was stolen from Frank Zappa by David Bowie. I give you Adrian Ballou.
It is a nice little resume header.
Yes. I'm usually passed around like a whore at a party. You're actually stolen by one genius from another.
Yeah, they have their way with me,
now look
those
where he's ended up.
Yes. So your life is interesting to me too. Like, you know, your father was your father one of the founding members of the CIA?
So it is said.
Wow. So did you grow up like just involved in government your whole life when you were a kid?
Not at all. No. I grew up in weird places. When I was 2 months old, I left Langley, Virginia, where I was born, to go to Cairo, Egypt, where my father had just installed a new dictator, Gamal Abdel Nasser, having kicked out King Farouk. And then later the family moved to Beirut, Lebanon, which is where I did most of my growing up. And I didn't get back to America till I was 18.
Oh, wow.
But during none of that time were we aware of what our daddy actually did for a living.
So it's really like that in the CIA family. Like nobody knows what dad does.
Well, I guess my mother knew, but one of my father's best friends was a British agent named Harry Philby, who turned out to be a double agent, and we had parallel families. His kids were the same age as the Copeland kids, the Philby kids, and my buddy Harry Philby he was my buddy, and one day their daddy disappeared.
Uh-oh.
And 2 weeks later, it turned out he showed up in Moscow. He had been a double agent all this time.
Wow.
So what did Dad say when you said, "What do you do, Dad?"
Yeah, no, my brother Miles came home from school one day and says, "Dad, are you a spy?" And this is a family story. And my father says, "Who wants to know?"
But, I mean, at like 16... You got to have some, like, it's not like you're just like a little kid. Like you.
Do you follow your father's?
Well, you're in Beirut.
You don't. You're in Beirut. You're a teenager, more interested in girls than what Dad does.
But you didn't understand why you were in Beirut? Like, why are we living in Beirut?
Right.
Well, had never lived anywhere else.
So it wasn't weird.
So it wasn't weird at all.
Yeah.
But when I was in college, right in the height of the Allende crisis in Chile. That's when my father had retired, and he wrote his book. And on the liner notes of his book is where I discovered what my daddy did for a living.
So you read his book, and this is all news to you.
Yeah. Well, except that, in later years, my mother said you could always tell who were the spies. And in Beirut, almost everybody was the spies. You could tell the spies by how much rubbish they talked.
Mm-hmm.
They could never get like Kim Philby. You could never get him to talk seriously about anything. He would talk about the races, the weather, the quickest way to Damascus, anything but politics.
Because the minute you start talking about what you actually do, you're in trouble.
That's right.
Yeah.
So was your dad's life in danger all this time? Like, being over.
Well, probably not. Well, actually, no. The reason we left Lebanon is because it got hot. There was one flare up. There was only one war in Beirut while I was there in 1958, and in those days the United States Sixth Fleet just showed up on the horizon, and the war was over.
It's just the idea of them showing up.
Well, they showed, and they did it just to entertain the folks of Lebanon. They did a little demonstration on the beach where they had these gigantic tanks just firing a little target practice there, and it's pretty impressive when the Sixth Fleet shows up and filling the horizon. Okay, everybody, let's go home.
Oh yeah.
They had an election. They actually elected an anti-American guy, but it's cool,
Sure.
And those were the days when we had a lot more credibility than we do now.
Ouch.
Yeah, I guess it's there were times where we were liked a little more.
Nowadays, our fleet, our Seventh Fleet, the way to defeat America is to go send out tankers.
It's literally 4 accidents in a year, isn't it? A year that the Navy has had. What an embarrassment! They ceased all Navy operations for like one day, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. My father was kind of mysterious to me too.
What did he do?
He drove a truck for a plumbing company.
That's so he says.
Right.
Who knows?
No, but what was mysterious is one day I was downtown and I saw him drive by in his truck and he was smoking a cigarette, and I had no idea he smoked cigarettes. So
there you go.
It's the same thing.
Double agent.
There
No
you
wonder.
go.
It's the exact same thing.
He lived a mysterious life.
Adrian gets home, says, "Dad, do you drive a truck?" And he says, "Who wants to know?"
That's right.
It is weird though that somebody would.
similar.
I'm amazed by people who hide smoking because I've known relationships where the guy smokes and the wife, "Don't tell my wife." How does she not know? You're fucking kissing her. You're showing up. How do
you
people not
stink.
know you smoke? You smell like smoke.
Well, I didn't know he smoked, but after all, I didn't kiss him that much. But
We must have hugged him. Hi, Dad.
I did hug him, and he kind of smelled funny. Now that I
Smelled
think
like
about
Dad.
it.
Then again, he worked for a plumbing company, so it could be something else.
He smelled like pipes.
Oh, all right.
Maybe he smoked a pipe. I don't know.
That's the best option if you work for a plumbing company. Pipes.
Yeah.
Is it so? You guys have put together this like kind of. It's being called a supergroup. I would call it a supergroup.
We've got a new name for it.
It's a separate group.
Little background. This
tell
all
me.
came because of just the joy of going to Italy and having a great time there. And originally, for about 10 years, been going there with no agenda, no product, no promo, no anything. Just to be in Italy in the summer and play these open air shows under the Italian sky. And so the agenda, if there was an agenda, was pasta. So now when people are calling us a super group, we correct them by saying we are in fact a supper group.
Oh, boy.
I like that. That's good. But like, it has to be at this point refreshing because you guys have had all this success. So it's not like you're like chasing after that thing that you haven't been there before.
Yeah, it's just all about fun.
It's just about fun and music now, right?
And our band motto was, look, nobody sane is ever going to hear this, right?
But it's got to be nice, though, to be at points in both your careers where you've done so much stuff.
Yeah.
You've proven yourself so many times over. Like, there's no pressure. Like, I got it. It's just a thing that you're just enjoying doing. That's got to be a great place to be.
It's a lot of fun. That's why we are doing it, because we, they invited me over to Milan on a trumped up, if I can use that word, trumped up business. They said,
you can't use that word.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you were allowed to curse on radio or not.
Now, Stu, you don't like when he makes fun of Trump. You're a Trump guy, and you don't like when he mocks him.
I don't like it described as my machinations, my Machiavellian ploy being described as Trumpish. We're way too sophisticated for that.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Anyway, his Machiavellian ploy was to get me and Mark in the band without letting us know we were joining a band. And so I arrived thinking I was going to play on a couple of tracks and just sit in the sun and have some pasta. And next thing I knew, we were in the band because it was so good. That's my point.
Well, you also, too, you write operas, so you're doing a little bit of everything. And I want to know, how do you conceptualize an opera? Because I've never been to one. I don't know if I'd like it.
It was going great, the whole opera thing, the whole, composer. The reason I'm writing big symphonic works and playing with the Chicago Symphony and so on is because I'm a drummer. And the drummers, like the singers in the band, singers and drummers at opposite ends of the jets actually have an invisible bond. We're not sure if we really are musicians. And in the middle of the jet, like the guitarist and the bass player and keyboard, they're talking in some strange language, F sharp minor, G flat, all this stuff. And the singer and the drummer are like, are they talking about me or are they talking about you? And it's a weird language. Anyway, so
you feel a little left out. I never would have thought that the drummer.
That's where all this orchestral music comes from. That basic fundamental insecurity. Okay, but it was going great. I'm playing with these orchestras around the world. I'm writing big important music, and it's going just great. And then this rock band came and got me. This little hobby. It wasn't even I guess it was a hobby in Italy. Just going there in the summer to bang on drums, which I still enjoy doing, no matter how highfalutin the music is. I like banging on those drums. And then suddenly that turned into a real thing with somebody like Adrian Belew in the band, and we get Mark King on board. And I guess I got to drop what I'm doing and take this seriously, because it wasn't really that big a deal because it was so much fun. That was an easy call.
So
was there any part of you that didn't want to do that? You're like, like I've lived that that life before. I kind of just want this to be this thing that we do in Italy for us.
Not an antipathy to the idea at all. I mean, I always loved the idea. That's why I would go and kind of do it and pretend to be a band every summer.
Right.
But then it turned into the real thing.
And you're like, let's just run with this.
Yeah.
I just got out of a band, and I was not in the mood to join another band at all.
Yeah.
Plus, I already had another band, which I've had for 10 years, called the Power Trio. So it's a good thing that they didn't say, come on over and join a band.
Right. Well, you guys have also, like, being in, you guys have been in bands that you've had to deal with some of the biggest egos in the history of music. So I would imagine that being in a band is not, for either of you guys, the most, the thing that you would jump to automatically. Is that right?
Well, yes and no, because, both of us can make our own records. We can write things.
Right.
I mean, I just did a film score for Pixar. He does classical pieces, etc. We can do all that stuff by ourselves in our studios, which we have in our homes, and that's great and it's wonderful. But sometimes you really want to have that sort of unseen thing happen where someone else does something that changes what you're doing, that then turns into something else, and that's called collaboration, and it's called synergy, and it's called many other things. And
right.
you get that with the right group of people, and it happens so rarely that when you see it, as I did in Milan, you say, well, okay, I've got to do this.
And do you guys, as you get older too, like you've both been in bands, you both dealt with, again, a lot of personalities. It's like going from one marriage.
By the way, can I just interject?
Sure.
I actually haven't had to deal with big egos. Oh, except for mine.
I'm just saying personalities. I'm not saying
the people I've worked with have generally, this ego thing, it's rarely about ego. In fact, certainly the Police, there was never an ego problem except for maybe me.
Sting didn't have any ego?
No.
Come on.
Totally not. Totally not. Totally not.
Wow.
Okay, tantric sex, we can have a laugh about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Ego, no.
Or just say a marriage where a bunch of ideas are, even if it's not an
big
ego
ideas
thing.
and strong musical opinions. Oh yeah, baby.
Right. But what about the one name, Sting? Right there, you're like, come on, man.
Here's why I assumed ego, and it was an assumption. I assumed ego because I'm like,
because he's so goddamn talented.
Well, he's so great,
handsome.
But then, and he's got the one name,
a little bit too handsome.
And then he takes the one name and he goes on tour with like a lute or whatever, and he's not even doing like the stuff that everybody.
Hang on just a second here. Well, let's put Gizmodrome on hold for a second here. I got some business to do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If he wants to make a lute album, gosh darn it, he can make a darn lute album.
Yes.
He's earned it. He made how many hit records?
A lot.
If he wants to make a lute album, he can make a lute album. If he wants to sing an opera, hey, look, nobody beats me up for writing opera.
I guess that's true.
Because they don't expect, I don't know why.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. It's because the singer is typically, not always, but whenever you hear of a band not being together anymore, typically the singer gets blamed because that's
he's
normally
the front man, right?
Yeah, he's the front man, and normally the biggest flake in the band is going to be the singer. Not always, but again, they're
he's the guy to whom everyone says, you don't need these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the pressure, too, because the voice
By the way, he stuck with us long after, like when we were making our third record, it was clear. This guy has a clear vision of the songs he wants to write and how to make them, and he truly doesn't need these guys. But he stuck with us for 2 more records. 5 records we got out of him. And I am grateful for that. I mean, he actually is a very loyal guy.
Yeah, so this is exactly how I know that I've lived my entire life in an alter universe, because I was in a band for 33 years. I was the front man, and the other guy was the guy who had all the big
issues.
What did he play?
He played guitar.
Oh, okay, the guitarist
and mellotron.
And he was the issue in the band.
Well, a
lot of ego.
He was the band in his mind.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
I guess that's tempting to happen when you get creative. When you're collaborating creatively with other musicians. I've never done it. There's got to be everyone thinks that their idea is the right idea.
And how do you deal with that then? Like, because what are you going to go up to him and be like, dude?
How do you tell someone?
Like, I'm the front man. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, you never could say the word dude to this person, I don't think.
I would have said dude every third word.
Dude would not be the right
Bob dude, what's up, dude?
Yeah. Mr. Dude, perhaps, but...
Really?
You wouldn't have said dude. How I dealt with it, Well, I dealt with it for 33 years by, first of all, having a great relationship with the person and loving him. And then I got an email one day saying, you're not in the band.
They just threw you out?
An email. There you go, an email, yeah.
He just threw you out?
That's harsh.
Threw me under the couch.
What was the reason
not even
for it?
under the bus.
They
but
didn't give you a
under-
reason?
Couch. He just dropped a couch on
just
you.
Dropped a couch on me.
Yeah.
What was the reason?
I have yet to ascertain that, but I think it was probably now a mistake.
I know what the reason was.
Drugs?
On his behalf.
He wanted to make room on the stage for 4 drummers.
Oh, this guy's a maniac.
That's it.
Sorry, no room for that guitar anymore. We need 4 drummers.
And this was done over email?
That was done over email.
33
yes.
years.
33 years.
Was it a warm email or no?
Email.
Was it a warm email? Like, look, man, this is not...
It was a terse and laconic email.
What does laconic mean? I know terse is
short.
Okay.
Just like terse does.
Okay, yeah.
It's just another way of saying the same thing.
Any emojis?
At least like a frowny face or something.
Yeah. Nothing. No emoji. Not a single emoji.
Did you regret putting up with this nonsense for 33 years after that? If you're like, if this is how it was going to end, I would have told him he was an asshole
in the beginning.
In the beginning.
33 years I could have told him what an asshole he was.
No, come on. I do love this person, but it just goes to show you my point.
You still love them?
We can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I do.
From under the couch, you love
the guy,
him?
but
Dave Navarro?
I don't know why. I must be a glutton for punishment.
Well, have you talked to him since?
No.
How long has it been?
That's real. That's true love.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, how long has it been?
I write him postcards. I just don't send them. Full of emojis.
Yeah.
I don't know. How long ago was that? 3 or 4 years? I don't know.
So you haven't spoken in 3 or 4 years? Yeah, that's got to be enraging. You've been in the band for all these years and guy cuts you out without any kind of...
Especially the
it's
egomaniac.
okay.
He's putting up with him. He's like,
okay.
no, he's a good guy. You just don't know him like I know him. You just don't. And then...
Yeah, it's okay. I went off and won an Oscar and
What'd you win the Oscar
a
for?
bunch of times and just, joined a supper group.
A supper group. Wait,
I'm doing okay.
What did you win the Oscar for? A score for something?
Yeah, I scored a Pixar short film last year.
Cool.
That came out.
Does Pixar pay well?
For a short film, they
Howard
don't.
Stern?
They don't make money on their short films. They do that because they really enjoy it, and it's a way to show off their new hardware and software and stuff and new ideas. Short story, yes, they paid well enough, but the thing that really comes from it is when that short film is shown in front of Finding Dory, the largest, most successful animated film in the history of the world.
It beat Nemo.
It beat Nemo,
Wow.
which was its originator.
Yeah, that was
I
the
had
number
dinner
one.
with Andrew Stanton last night, the man who made both those movies.
Oh, nice. Quit bragging.
And he's a great guy, and I could have never imagined that Pixar would call me to do something. So when they did, it was a great honor.
So when you go to the Oscars, did they?
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go?
I was on tour.
Oh,
power move.
I couldn't
I'm
go.
busy working.
Yeah.
but aren't you tempted though if it's an Oscar? Aren't you tempted to go like, all right, look, we got a gig, but maybe we can move the gig for that?
Well, not if your gig's in Europe and you got and you got a band, and you've got to feed the guys and girls in the band. So no, it was okay. I didn't have to go. I went to the premiere. And that was really fun. I mean, had a great time doing that. I took my family and my 2 daughters, and it was really great fun to see all those people and meet, all the stars and hang in Hollywood.
Did you watch it and then just realize I don't know how that works. Did you watch it and go like, as you're watching on television, realize I won, or did they let you know right before like it looks good?
It's interesting, actually. The day before we left for tours, when they had the televised part, and my bass player Julie Slick and I were standing in my kitchen, and I said, I don't think they televised the short animated films, so I'm not even going to watch it. She said, she was looking on her iPhone. She said, no, I think maybe they do. In fact, I think it might be coming up now. We walked into the television room, turned on the television, and they said, and the Oscar for Best Short Animated Film.
Wow.
And it happened just right then, at that second. We turned the television on. We won.
But wasn't that before you went on tour? If that was before you went on tour,
It was the day before we went on tour.
You just couldn't make the ceremony.
I couldn't.
Too much stuff to do.
I couldn't cancel a tour.
Right.
Yeah, but he's only got one more Oscar than me. I spent 20 years scoring films with Oliver Stone, Francis Coppola, and all like that.
What did you score with Stone and Coppola?
My first
Street,
film
right?
with Oliver Stone was Wall Street and Talk Radio.
Cool. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
And Francis Coppola was my first film, actually, with Rumblefish.
Wow. Wow. That's
but all that, with all that, this guy comes in, does one film, period.
Short film.
A short film, and
Right.
gets a gosh darn Oscar for that.
That's Mickey Rourke and Matt Dillon,
That's
right?
my
Rumblefish.
Oscar. Give me that Oscar. I've earned it.
Don't worry, I
20
started
years
at the
says
top.
that's
and
my Oscar.
Started at the top and working my way to the bottom. I'll probably never do another film.
So when you write an opera, okay,
You're on a roll. Don't blow it.
Yeah, that's a strategy.
Do you write in English in opera, or is it always in Italian?
Oh, no, it's in English.
Oh, it is.
Well, why would it be in Italian?
I don't know. I've never heard an opera, so I don't know. I always assume they're in.
Because of Pavarotti?
Because Mozart wrote in Italian. Gosh knows why, but
I don't know. I would assume
He
an
already
opera.
told us he has no idea what an opera is.
No, it's
so
obscure.
I know.
It's already
he's been
obscure
very
enough.
upfront about this, I think.
So I'm being pretty straightforward. I don't know. I've never seen an opera. People say you'll love it or you hate it.
Well, come and see mine.
I would see yours, but do you
Well, I've
sing in
written
it?
5 of them.
You have.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the most fun a composer can have with his clothes on.
Really?
It really is. Because in as a film composer, where I learned how to work with drama and music together, and that's also where I learned how to write music for orchestra. I got my orchestral training on someone else's dime. Namely Francis, Oliver, and the rest of them.
Right.
That's where I learned how to do it. But the relationship with music and drama is very profound. But when you do a film score, or a television score, or a game score, you're working for the man. You're not really an artist. You're a craftsman. And
Yeah.
you serve the art of the director, and it's fine. The pay is great.
Do they tell you to do something? Have you had those guys? Oh, they do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You want it happy, sad, or sad, happy?
Yeah. Right.
And guess what? There is a difference.
Sure.
And so you learn to be very, very specific about the emotional message. You know, Tom Cruise looks into the woman's eyes and says, "I love you." But the audience needs to know that he's a lying scumbag. But the shot is all moonlit. It's
Are
a
you
beauty
calling
shot.
Tom Cruise
the girl,
a lying
scumbag? No, the character he's playing, of course.
Oh.
But I mean, and so the composer's job is to tell that message to the audience that the woman he's saying it to, or man, doesn't know that he's lying, but the audience does. And so the film composing is very, very specific emotionally. And so taking those skills into opera, the difference is that in opera, it's the composer's medium.
Right.
And the reason for that is very simple, because all the great opera composers are safely dead.
Right.
And so when they put up a Mozart opera, the soprano and the conductor can argue endlessly about, no, well, Mozart wanted this. No, I think Mozart wanted that. And so the whole dialogue is about what the composer wanted. Now, if a living composer walks into the room, we can resolve this issue right now. Here is what I want.
Right. It's your thing.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is set up as the composer's medium, and so the pay sucks compared to film composing.
Sure.
But the art is fantastic.
It's more satisfying. But it's weird. Like, I hate to say it, but I watch a movie. The music does make me cry. It's embarrassing.
Does
but
it?
It fucking
What
gets
movies?
me.
What makes
just
you
any
cry?
any movie I've cried at. A lot of times
That's my
it's the
that was-
music.
I don't do it anymore, but that was my job,
That's a
to
good
make
sign.
you cry.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
a lot of times it really is the music.
Throw that violin on, and all of a
You
sudden
see,
you're sobbing.
I didn't
This
know
wallet
any
depends
of
on
this
what the
stuff
scene
when I
is.
did my first film score, and that's why I won an Oscar.
Oh, we get it.
Did we mention he won an Oscar? Did you know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Where do you keep it? Where do you
Just the Oscar part.
Where do you keep your
thanks,
Oscar?
Thanks for that, Adrian. Thanks for that bit of advice.
I'm surprised you didn't bring it in.
I happen to have it with me if you guys want to see.
Where do you keep it?
I'd like to.
Stuart, where do you keep your Oscar?
I keep my Oscar over at Adrian's place.
There you go.
But I tell you what, all my Grammys are at my place.
In your face.
Now we're talking. What
I
about
keep
the,
my grandmother in her place.
There you go.
So where do you keep your Oscar? Just on the mantle, or do you not care?
No, I don't have a particular place. I let it roll. You know, right now it's probably in my daughter's bedroom under the bed.
Oh boy.
No, you don't have a honor place for it.
No, I have stuff downstairs where it's all kind of framed and hung on the wall. And not a Grammy though. I don't have one of those.
You know what? The tradition of musicians, when you get your first gold disc, the place where it goes, the powder room. the bathroom.
Is that right?
And the reason for that is very simple, because you put it on the wall in the living room and people, walk past it, they see it or they don't even notice it or whatever. But when it's in the bathroom, they have 3 minutes to contemplate your greatness.
That's a great...
They are alone. They are alone, undistracted from your greatness. I'm just getting a telephone call now from Germany.
Oh, who is it?
He won an Oscar.
Mister.
Won an Oscar.
Hello, Sarah.
Is Sarah your girlfriend? Or your wife?
No, my wife is Fiona. Sarah is the record company in Hamburg.
Oh, okay.
She's our
that's
product
fun.
manager.
Yeah.
That's where the Beatles cut their teeth.
That's right.
That's right. That's true, though. When you're in the bathroom, it gives you, like, every word of the inscription gets written and read. You know what I mean?
And appreciated.
Every piece
your
of art in the
accomplishment
center of the...
It's a way of ramming it down their throat.
Yeah, it's great.
What a great...
Especially if it's more than 3 minutes, depending on what you're serving for dinner.
Well, the
you
other
get
thing,
them in there for
the
15.
stage before that, for a new band in England, the thing used to be that, that you would have in your bathroom, long before you got a Grammy or anything, you would have your Holiday Inn towel in your bathroom, which is a very important message to any visitor in your home, which is, I've been to the States. I've toured America.
Really?
And so that all-important Holiday Inn, the first thing an English band does when they get to America is, I don't care where we're staying, we got to stay at a Holiday Inn, and I got to get that Holiday Inn towel that I can hang in my bathroom back home.
It's a real tradition with British bands? I never knew that.
Oh, the number of times my heart was filled with envy when I went to somebody's house and they had a Holiday Inn towel.
That's where I keep my GED.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, yeah?
General Equivalency Diploma. It's
All
what
right.
we get when we drop out of high school. I have one and he has one.
do you?
Yeah,
All
three.
right.
I was 21. I was 21 when I got my GED.
Congrats,
Okay.
guys.
Good for you.
Yeah, not dropouts anymore.
Yeah. I dropped out senior year.
Yes.
We're in high company here.
Are you gonna drop out too?
No.
He's got an Oscar. I don't know if you know that.
I finished and then I dropped out.
All right.
I have a real high school diploma, so we're the three
me
educated
too.
guys.
You were also you won the 10th best drummer of all time in Rolling Stone. Does that mean anything to you when you got that?
Well, I was demoted.
I didn't realize that. Sorry, where were you
years
before?
ago, I was 5. Oh. And now I'm 10. And the weird
I'm
thing
not
is,
even in the top 100.
Could you say 10 out of 1,000?
Well, top 10. I figured that's how you got it.
10th out of 10 just somehow doesn't have a ring to it.
Oh, yeah, because the list is top 10.
Yeah.
So you just made it.
I just squeaked in there.
Who's right ahead of you? Do you know?
I don't know.
Number 9?
But the thing is that Buddy Rich isn't even on that list, so the whole thing is kind of
Interesting.
meaningless.
Who's number 1? Who's considered? Is it
Either
Ginger Baker?
I think it's Bonham.
No. It's either, these things go around. It's either Neil Peart, who's a good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Although I've been trying to chop him down for years.
Yeah.
But he's up. It's usually Neil, and or Ringo or John Bonham.
Ringo.
There you go, Neil Peart.
Top 100 greatest drummers of all time.
Yeah.
How is that not Ginger Baker though? I mean, even though he was crazy,
He doesn't make it for some reason. He was one of my. I would have had him in the top 10.
he's
easy.
not on the list at all.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
a
he's there somewhere.
Oh, but he's not in the top
He's
10.
not in the top 10. He should
I'm
be.
not in the top 100 list even of guitar players in Rolling Stone.
I've never made a list anywhere in my life.
Rolling Stone doesn't
That's
know
not
I
true.
even exist.
Does it bother
They
you?
never have.
Does it bother you honestly? 'Cause
Yeah,
what-
I hate those fuckers.
yeah, I'm not a fan of
Good
them.
for you.
Well, they're
A little pandery.
They're kind
Fuck
of.
them.
I remember the Playboy magazine used to have an annual music, the top guitarist, top singer. Sure. And the top sitar player one year was George Harrison.
Oh, come on.
That gives you an idea of the validity of these lists.
But it does feel nice to be mentioned. Like, it's funny, like we always say about critics, they don't know what they're talking about, but nobody's ever read a positive review and said critics don't know what they're talking about. I'm guilty of it too.
No, they do know what they're talking about. These are guys, musicians would hate to own up to this. And I've had arguments with fellow musicians about this. No, those guys do know what they're talking about. They have an opinion which might not be the same as yours, but they listen to music every day much more closely than you do, you skinny musician.
Yeah.
And so I read all the reviews, good, bad, and the ugly. And I've learned from bad reviews. I've learned from good reviews.
Yeah.
Because as an artist, you're surrounded by people who tell you how great you are.
Yes, people, yeah.
Yes, people. In a review, whether it's hostile, even if the guy's a scumbag, you learn something that nobody around you would have said.
What has hurt you in a review? Has anything you've read like
only if it's true? Yes.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
sometimes it is.
Have you read something that was true that made you like, oh God, they saw that?
Yeah. The my first orchestral piece, which was a ballet for the San Francisco Ballet, I learned the expression "shoddy farrago." I had to look up jejune noodling.
What's that mean?
I'll have to look it up again.
But it wasn't good.
But that review was
Negative.
a keeper. And by the way, it did suck. It was my first orchestral piece, and it wasn't great. But there was 4 bars of it that kicked ass. Well, it kicked my ass, okay? And that was what, that was good. That I got to write more. But that review was such a scorched earth review that that was a keeper, that one. I've got that one framed.
Nice.
You guys
right next to my Grammys.
You both seem pretty grounded, though. Like, again, that's the advantage of being long-term musicians and you're working together. You both seem like you've seen every aspect of the business. You both had tremendous successes. You both won a lot of shit. So you both kind of, it's like, all right, this stuff that might throw a younger person or a newer musician isn't going to throw you off. You guys will probably work well together. Does that make any sense? Probably not.
Well, I still hate it when reviewers try to convince people that I'm losing my hair. I really.
Why would they say that?
Why
would they say that?
You're getting rid of it on purpose.
That.
It's
I
not
just
losing.
don't understand that. What are they? What picture are they looking at?
It's a great soul patch.
I see.
Thank you very much. I've worked on it for years. It's
a beauty.
It's in honor of Frank Zappa, by the way.
Is it really?
Yes.
That's all I can
why
think
I
of this
wear
whole
little
interview is
thing.
that you're on that album. It makes me crazy. I fucking love that record so much. It makes me sick how much I love that record.
Which record?
Great. Shake Your Booty.
Shake Your Booty. My favorite Zappa was 200 Motels.
I don't know that one. I'm not a huge Zappa fan. I'm like, that album is one of my favorite things in
Shake Your
history.
Booty is out of all his 55 or 60 records the #1 seller.
Is it really?
Yeah, the top seller.
Fucking Jewish Princess, Dancing Fool. It's such an amazing record. Well, I'm happy to meet you.
You get the word poop shoot even in that record.
Yeah,
And I think
ram it
that's
too.
That's a lovely term.
What is the grape, by the way?
The grape was I was told this by, I believe, Patrick O'Hearn, the bass player. It was a transvestite bar.
Oh, I thought it was a game. Okay, yeah. It's a reference in one of the Zappa songs.
Yeah.
Then I just, all I want to do is
I
sit
never
for
went
2 hours
there.
and talk about that song. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, next time you have me on the show, we'll
Yes,
talk
we'll
Zappa
talk about
for
the
2
grape
hours.
and Zappa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, the project, we have to promote the project, of course.
Oh, of
They're
course.
telling us these guys have to leave. It's called Gizmodrome. The self-titled debut album is available September the 15th, and that is also the name on Facebook.com is Gizmodrome. And let me get the proper social media for you guys. Stuart is at Copeland Music, and Adrian is the Adrian Blue, BELEW, just for the proper spelling on Twitter.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. This is it was really fun talking to you.
Yeah, it's great.
Fun to be here.
Let's do it again.
Yes,
do it.
We'll take a break and we'll come back to wrap up the show.
Did you say raper?
This is awesome. This whole record is fucking great.
Good lyrics.
Do you like knowing that Zappa was a perfectionist like that?
It's not surprising. I know a friend of mine was good friends with him, and it's not surprising. But I had heard that he wouldn't go to the. You can turn it off. I'm just going to wind up listening to Bobby Brown Goes Down. It's just a weird song about a weird guy.
Yeah.
But that whole Flakes is a great song. People on Twitter are fucking
Those
brutal.
are opera groupies.
That's not right.
Those guys seemed
MJ.
like guys at a party to be like, I don't want to talk to this guy. Then you do, and you're like, holy shit.
I'm glad I talked to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it was kind of like your mom's friends, you know? But they've lived. God damn it!
Yeah, no, I like talking to him a lot. That's not right.
MJ is a mean motherfucker.
Yeah, look at that alopecia.
That MJ, huh?
Yeah, he sure is a card.
just a little menace behind a keyboard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Not a nice man.
Who the fuck is that guy? Did you see, by the way?
I probably did.
The goat that is an amalgamation of
my
all the
God.
things that you've created.
It's the fucking. It's a great. It's the goat.
Yeah, the goat.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, so
Goat.
it was in our email yesterday. I guess it was in the New York Post. I didn't actually read why it was in the New York Post.
That's why.
I just looked at the video of it and I was like, wait a minute. This single goat has somehow its face is all of Jim's characters combined. There's a little Edgar in there. There's a little Chip in there. I think there's even like the way he sticks his
Uncle
chin
Paul.
out, a little Uncle Paul.
Can we see some of the video of the goat?
Yeah.
I'm looking in yesterday's emails. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Dying to see it.
That says news stories for Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. That would be the issue.
Mm-hmm.
See the thing that says that goat's face looks like a combination of Jim's characters? That's the goat I'm talking about that looks like a combination of Jim's
I apologize.
characters.
You said yesterday, so I thought it would have been in yesterday's.
The one that was sent yesterday for today.
Okay.
Because today's today.
Yep.
So I
And
figured
it was sent yesterday.
we talk about today's stuff today based on the email
But
from
would
yesterday.
that be today's news?
No, that was today's news hasn't been sent yet because it hasn't happened yet because it's only 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, that goat's got a human-like face. Wow.
I'm a cat.
You are?
April Fools!
That damn.
Hey, what's my name? Fucking Billy or something? Fucking lick your cooter. Fucking Billy the goat.
I wonder what kind of goats that, what age goats that goat likes.
Hey, bring me a little lamb. Bring me a little lamb whose fleece is white as snow. I'm going to put something else white on it. You know what? If you bring me a little lamb whose fleece is white as snow, then the back of it's going to be ruby red.
Oh.
Like cranberry sauce.
Oh, I know what that is.
I'm a pigeon. April Fools!
God, that thing is hideous.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? God damn it. God damn it, I can't stand it. Quit touching my neck. God damn it, quit touching my chin. Piece of garbage. Get your fucking fingers off me. God damn it. My tongue is sticking out. I'll fucking look silly. That is a very odd looking.
Yeah, well, now you know how people react when you start doing your characters.
That's all I want to do.
It's really odd looking.
Edgar the Goat.
God, the tongue.
You think Jonathan would like Edgar the Goat?
Oh my God.
Just loud.
He couldn't handle it.
No way.
April Fools!
You should send him that video with the caption, "I'm a pigeon."
I'm a pigeon.
Hold!
Yeah, he just doesn't do it well.
Yeah, I guess that it was posted just because it's so hideous, but
60 million views.
In actuality, it looks freakishly human.
Yeah.
I just love that, like an odd-looking goat captures everything Jim's been doing with his time.
That's amazing.
Isn't it?
And then the tongue is sticking out all stupid.
Of course it is.
What a genetic mess.
Well, and it's got to lick its teeth because they're dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
My wool is dry.
Whoa, you're a goat.
Oh. April Fools.
Was that an April Fools, or did you just not know that?
Both.
Oh. Look at him licking his teeth.
My teeth are dry. Look, have some goat's milk. I'm a god. I'm Bully the goat.
Probably doesn't want sheep of lower stock.
No.
Of course not.
I don't. I'm a barnyard animal.
We'll tweet out the link so you can all see. And somebody out there needs to take that audio and just. We're already doing it? Yeah. Yeah, we're already making it.
I'm an eagle.
I don't think you're an eagle.
April Fools!
It's August.
I know.
Oh, I'm losing my mind. I can't wait to get my fucking dumb nose fixed so I can wear my mask and sleep.
Is that the problem?
It drives me crazy. I'm on right now an antibiotic for a sinus infection and also this new spray that dries my nose out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got the what do you call it? Not a sonogram of your head, MRI or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And the guy looked at my nose and he's like, "Yeah," he goes, "It's a little worse than the MRI shows." I was trying to get the balloon stuff done, but he thinks surgery.
So you're gonna get the sinus surgery?
I told him I want you to roto-rooter my stupid, ugly face.
Yeah.
Gut my dumb nose.
You should get lip injections while you're under.
Why?
Just come out looking different aesthetically. Just come out looking like that young Kardashian girl. Kylie Jenner.
I don't
right?
want lip injections. I don't have full luscious lips.
Why? I'd love that.
I won't even talk right.
Wouldn't you love coming? Wouldn't you enjoy doing the show more if Jim had like DSLs on him?
Would you laugh at me if I? Well, apparently Jim does. Would you? Would you laugh? Would you laugh if I came in and didn't realize how bad my lips look and got my lips done?
I would love it if you didn't tell anybody and you just had a facelift, like you just stretched your skin back just to get rid of the wrinkles, as if nobody would notice.
I don't have that many wrinkles,
and everybody noticed. Well, there's enough that you could definitely stretch back. I can see. See, the problem is that I
smile a lot.
Yeah. You got, wow. Look. Oh.
Everyone has wrinkles when they smile. You're supposed to.
Not if you get a facelift.
Smile. That's not a good smile.
I can't. I don't have it in me to smile.
No, I'm gonna get it. I'll probably go on a Thursday.
Just get your neck done.
Nah, the neck you can't do anything with. You just got to realize
pinch that skin back.
It doesn't work that way.
Neck's ruined.
Nah, the neck's fucked up. What you do is, I'm 50, so it's gonna happen. But I put lotion on my face and neck and body every day. Like I have really good skin, but once in a while you get a wrinkle. It's like you're alive.
Should have him do liposuction on that belly.
It's not enough to lipo. All I gotta do is not eat salt and sugar for 2 weeks, and it's back to where it was.
So good though, isn't it?
Amazing.
Aren't salt and sugar both great?
Of course they are. That's why Americans eat them. Yeah, but that's why everyone eats them.
Everybody
They're fucking lovely.
I'm gonna have some of that, some salt and some sugar right around lunchtime.
I can't afford though. Those donuts look so good, but I can't do it.
I had half of one. I'm stuffed.
No way.
It's a huge donut.
Take a big bite out of one.
No, I can't. Can't do it.
How do you have the discipline?
I just realized that
he's an addict.
Yeah, I know I'm a fucking compulsive asshole, and it's hard. Like I go
it's
on
either all or nothing, right?
Yeah, when I'm eating healthy, I'm fucking amazing. When I'm eating bad, it's tough. That's one reason I'm glad I'm going to be away, because I would eat like a pig at Anthony's, or I'd eat like a pig at Bob's. Those steak tips are fucking great.
I thought all the addict stuff was like a little like dramatic. And then Jim and I were in L.A. and we did Bert Kreischer's podcast together. And it must have been October because he had a Halloween candy jar.
Oh, boy.
That was left over. And I watched Jim. Like, I probably had 2 or 3 pieces just popping in 100 grands or whatever. And I watched Jim compulsively and uncontrollably, like there's no way he was still hungry, just going through candy bars. He couldn't stop himself from eating the little fun-sized candy bars.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I don't take any. There's no pride in that.
Right.
There's no like I think I'm hot. It is what it is. It's a weakness. I'm a fucking compulsive idiot.
Right.
With anything I do that feels good, it's very hard for me to stop. So you fucking learn, hey, don't do this, because when you do it, you're bad at it.
Yeah.
I can't eat sweets because if I do, I fucking pig out.
Yeah, and once you get a good momentum, you can really go. But when you break it once, it's over.
But the motive is I like dating women who are younger than me and in good shape. I don't want. I'm not dating a fucking 49-year-old frump. If I was, I wouldn't care.
Why don't you let them know they can get a little cake for the chipper? It's not about. You're
not bullshitting, kid.
It's not about how you look. It's about the money that's in your pocket.
There was a lot of drool last night. Ugh. Chip had a real good cake with the chipper line. It was bad.
So sorry I missed it.
We have 1 minute left. My tour is on sale. I'm going to a bunch of places: Indianapolis, Dallas, Austin, Seattle, Portland, here in New York in Town Hall, San Francisco. I'm also doing Sacramento, a whole bunch of places, Madison, Wisconsin. JimNorton.com for all tickets on sale now. Also Vegas. Finally going back to Vegas. And Mark, what do you got?
Listen to Tuesdays with Stories. This weekend I'm in Tempe and then Portland. Come on out and check out my website, marknormancomedy.com.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing Tucson and Scottsdale, too. I love Arizona.
I like it, too. Hot chicks.
The best-looking women in the country are in Arizona.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. And I want to send a shout-out to ESPN for getting that menace Robert Lee off the air finally.
Good point. Yeah, boy.
Yes.
Confederate statue.
Who we got tomorrow? We got Bobby Kelly. We got Matt Serra is coming in. Who else?
I think that's it.
Why isn't he tomorrow?
Roland told me Matt Serra's Friday.
No, he's supposed to be tomorrow with Bob.
He told me it's Friday.
Oh, boy.
No, it's on tomorrow.
All right, I'll get with
Well, I'll tell you what. Coming up this week, we got Bob Kelly and Matt Serra. And others, maybe. Or not.
Okay, bye.